first met her, yeah, it was on that beach. The one in Hyde Park, yeah, that's 53rd Beach. And she done walked up to me and said, boy, what's good? And I said nothing, just gone back to my hood. So we hit the road, I'm in control now. I grab my guitar next to my bed, I play a song now. The guitar is working, can tell that she wants me, but she done messed up, said I'm the one. Baby, love me in November, 'cause I need the summertime. Said love me in November, 'cause I need the summertime. Chicago summertime. Oh, you make the sun slow down when I wasn't here. The way she touched me, I know I was winning. Yeah, we hit the road, and I'm in control now. Grab my guitar next to my bed, I play a song now. The guitar is working, can tell that she wants me, but she done messed up, said I'm the one. Baby, love me in November, 'cause I need the summertime. So love me in November, 'cause I need the summertime. Chicago summertime. Say I need. Say I need. Don't you need. Say I need, yes I need, yes I need. Chicago summertime. Say I need. Chicago summertime. Said I need. Chicago, Chicago, Chicago summertime. I was walking on a fine line, tiptoe dancing, girl, just know I'm vibing with you. Want you touch on me, feel on me, trust when you love on me, girl, just know I'm vibing with you. I ain't gonna say when you came my way, and I don't wanna waste your time. I saw your future when you walked my way. It said that you'd be mine. You'll be my baby, yeah. Said that you'd be
Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of Balikbayan returning home. We're so excited to be back here. Hey, I'm Masood. I'll be your GM this evening. This is the gang. This is our session 2. Shout out to Roll20 for having us. We're super excited to be here. I'm going to do a quick intro and then we're just going to get right into it. I wrote it down because I'm a mad professional. And first off, everyone, can folks hear us? Everyone want to say hi just real fast to make sure we can get it on the chat? My Stir Friday Night folks, do you want to say hi? There it is. Good. Okay, cool. Thank you. Professionals, all of us. But hey, as you're saying, I'm Masood. I'll be your tour guide, narrator, and GM for our game Balikbayan Returning Home, a narrative tabletop role-playing game that's heavily inspired by Filipino mysticism and folklore, set in a cyberpunk future. Specifically, it's about elementals, giving everyone the opportunity for creative sort of choice making, being these supernatural beings of Filipino folklore come to life. And I'd love to jump right back where we were, but first, I want to talk about my cast here. For those of y'all who don't know, we're all members of Stir Friday Night, America's oldest all-Asian theater and comedy troupe that's based in Chicago. We've been around for over 25 years, primarily in Chicago doing stuff, but we performed nationally all over the U.S. and even, I believe, at one point internationally. But someone fact-check me, because I might just be talking out my butt. Our notable alumni include Danny Pudi from Community, Mary Sohn from AP Bio, and the one and only Korean heartthrob, Steven Yeun from Walking Dead, and many other shows. I'm joined by 6 others of our awesome group. Let's go around and introduce yourself, your character's name, and... Introduce yourself, your character's name, both y'all pronouns, if there's a difference between them. And particularly, I want to pose this group to y'all. So you ready? I'm going to ask it. If you were a 90s cartoon evil villain, what would your base be? What would it look like have inside? And what would your henchmen / henchwomen, henchpersons wear as uniform? What would their outfits look like? So where is your base? What does it look like on the inside? And what do your subordinates who work for you dress like? Right now I can tell Usra is really pondering this, so I want to go to them first. But does anyone have one off the top of the bat? I'll throw it around. Anyone feel like they got it off the top of their head?
Yeah, sure, I'll go.
Hell yeah.
Hi, everybody. My name is Ben Cummings. He, him, his. My character's name is Mr. Ferryman, the San Telmo. He's a ghost, kind of. If I were a 90s children's show villain, it would be a cautionary tale trying to get children not to jewel. But I guess it would be the 90s, so that didn't exist yet. So just be cigarettes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd be like Dr. Hackenkoff, and the base would be called the Smokestack. The big, nasty factory.
Hell yeah.
My bad henchmen would be in like wacky wavy inflatable cigarette.
Oh, so they'd have like the top part would be like a filter, and then their arms would be. I like this.
It would be like flames. Yeah, that. And then everyone would know that I was a bad guy.
Who's your superhero nemesis? Is it like
the Lung?
The Lung. I was really gonna say Captain Planet, but no, I like the Lung as being.
He's a lung-themed superhero.
He's a lung-themed superhero. That's good. You actively counter him. I like that, but you still need him to have purpose.
Joker Batman much?
Yeah, a little bit. Let's go around the clock and move up to Erica.
Okay, yeah. So
also this fit. Name.
Oh, thank you so much.
The name, your character.
Shout out
your pronouns
to Laser Kitten for these beautiful Tamagotchi earrings.
Ooh.
Made from dead stock Tamagotchis. Yeah, they're beautiful.
They're stunning.
But anyway, okay. So
name your character's name, pronouns, and then all your cartoon villain.
Yeah, my character's name is Izzy, she, her. I will say my Instagram is @Bebica_set.
Oh, that's on me.
That's fine.
You know, I'm gonna do some editing in our break and make that fixed.
But I think my lair would be like kind of like a underground pool, like grotto kind of situation, because like I think my like evil intent would just be that I want to relax no matter what else the world is doing. And then I guess like my henchmen would be dressed in just like great like 70s outfits.
Ooh, what do they
like? Long lapels, like bell bottom, just everyone just like free with their bodies and their looks, lots of paisley, lots of self-love, that kind of thing.
It feels like you're less of a 90s villain and more of a cult leader, if I'm honest. And maybe those two are the exact same.
I would love to be a cult leader.
Yeah, who wouldn't want to be a cult?
Just the part.
There's a song by Captain Murphy, the dude who is Flying Lotus. That's his rap moniker, and he did this entire album called Duality, which the theming is of like I played it at your house that one time. It's about like who want to be a cult leader is like basically the whole premise. Yeah, it's good fun.
What a great concept. I love that.
Mm-hmm. Moving on, Joan, hit us with your name, your character's name, and your pronouns, and then answer the question.
Hey, this is Joan. My character's name is Little, she, her. And if I was a 90s bad guy, evil character guy, I was really into slime when I was younger. So I would say I lived in the sewer, and my little villain creatures would be like little mini slimers.
So they're not even human. They're actually like their own species of slime that follow you. This is the cult. This is the cult we need to get on, actually. And then, what do you do? How do you threaten, or what is your whole goal, your whole vibe?
I just want to take over the world. I just want to suffocate all of humanity with my slime.
I like that. A wave of slime to keep us cozy and warm and dead. Up next, Harrison, tell us about yourself.
Hi, everybody. I'm Harrison Happen, he, him, his. My name is actually spelled with 2 R's, Harrison.
Did I really?
Yep. And my Instagram, again, this time is Harrison, spelled like Harrison.
Yeah.
Like the president or the Beatle.
Mm-hmm.
Harrison's happening. Okay, so if I was a supervillain, I'd want to be evil Dexter from Dexter's Lab.
Ooh.
My henchman would be Clifford, the big red dog, but I want to make him purple.
Okay.
I want a purple dog.
Okay.
I want a big purple dog, and he's mean too.
First off, Harrison.
So,
way to throw me under the bus in your answer to the get-go. I like that you calling out my editing mistake first and foremost. Secondly, you can't have your hench person. Like you can't just take another fictional thing and make this like Jones had a collection of slimes. Do you have an army of Cliffords, or is it one Clifford?
Yeah.
I like it.
The name isn't Clifford. The name is Clyde.
I love it.
Purple dog.
You got to Clyde the big purple dog.
Clyde the big purple dog.
Yeah.
He is. That's my henchman. And,
I love it.
My arch nemesis is Kim Possible.
Oh, that actually
wow.
that feels like it tracks because like Dexter growing up, like he's already like you're evil Dexter, so he's still like are you an adult or are you like a kid or like a teenager, kind of like in that space?
I'm a preteen.
You're preteen. Then Kim Possible is totally your like hero that you're trying to stop. That lines up so nicely. And then I had another question. Also, and pardon me if this might sound ignorant, but isn't evil Dexter just Mandark? Like the guy, the tall kid is like ha 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 ha. That guy who left,
shorter.
Oh, but shorter. I see.
I'm shorter. Yeah.
So Boy Dark.
Boy Dark, not Mandark.
Boy Dark.
Yeah.
Boy Dark.
Hell yeah. Shu, tell us about yourself, and please, for the love of God, tell me I didn't make any grammatical or editing mistakes with your name.
No, I think you got it. There's only 2 letters, and I think you got both of them.
There you go. I didn't choose your maiden name. I was correct about it. Making the right moves.
Yes. So my name is Shu. My character is Luzan, and she is a Dewata. She was released by this socialite called Angel Moon, and so she took her form, and they fused together, and that's going to be a journey. My 90s supervillain would be Brain from Pinky and the Brain, because just like Brain, I am my own arch nemesis. And my lair would be just like a layer of rats in like New York City, and it's just all the evil and the good rats, like Master Splinter is there or something, or Ratatouille, the Remy the rat. I don't remember.
What about the when Fievel goes west, are they mice or are they rats?
I don't think I've seen that.
Oh, you gotta
That says
see it.
Mice
Okay.
for no reason. Oh, the Rats of Nim. Or
The
Nip or whatever.
Rats of Nim is a different one. Fievel Goes West is a really good allegory for like Jews escaping like Germany from World War II. It's very.
I'm gonna check it out.
It's very top notch. Yeah.
I like rats, and I think that they're better creatures than I think we give them credit for.
So moving on, with that note that we keep in mind, I also remind me to tell you about
Ben
the.
is also disgusted, by the way. His face is just like, I'm never talking to this girl again.
No, I'm gonna stand up.
Rats are great. I love rats.
Rats are so human, dude. You ever have a rat get into your apartment and you stare it down and realize it's just as afraid of you as you are of it?
No, that doesn't happen to me because I clean up my food and I wash my countertops.
Hey,
I don't
don't
have rats.
get mad at me because my landlord has a hole in the side of his building. All right, you can't put that on me.
I had an old roommate who had pet rats, and whenever people would fall asleep in our apartment, we would just throw the rats on them, and the rats kind of just like dribble pee.
What?
They can't help it, so it was a great way to get people out of our apartment because they kept sleeping over, trying to sleep.
One of the most insane sentences I've ever heard.
Yeah, talk about just saying goodbye.
They would
later, I gotta go to bed.
Listen, every single one of my New York stories is outrageous. Yep.
And thankfully, no one has to top that except for Usra. So Usra, tell us about you, your character, your pronouns, and what your vibe would be as a 90s villain.
Okay, so I'm Usra. Pronouns are she, her, hers. Our character's name is Alien, and Alien's pronouns are also she, her, hers. She's an Aswang. And if I was a 90s villain, I think you asked about the layer.
Yes, layer as well. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm feeling Mojo Jojo's like observation deck.
Oh, hell yeah.
Big telescope.
Yes.
And my henchmen would all they would all be like really attractive people, like fresh out of college and like
Obviously.
in like velour, like very young, like they don't know what they're up to, right? So I'm like, join my internship, and then I make them my henchmen.
This is. We
they're
just
in like, yeah.
Not just I'm surprised at how many of like being an evil person is just a cult leader. Like how much it like overlays.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, I interrupted. Please continue.
Yeah, how dare you? That's a demerit. Anyway, so it's like they're gonna wear velour tracksuits, and they say like bejeweled things on the butt, like slut, or like, can I curse on here?
Yeah.
Baby girl.
There you go.
They say.
You can't say baby girl.
That's the line.
Baby girl. Oh, you're right. Okay, I'm sorry. They say like juicy. You know? So, like,
Somehow that's
Juicy.
worse.
Yeah.
you didn't like baby girl. Basically, they say there used to be jumpsuits with those bejeweled things on the butt. So whatever they
I feel
used to
personally attacked.
say. Is that what you used to wear?
Is that what the
No,
vibe?
of course not. Why would I do that?
So that's what I want my hinge people to wear. They're like young people who had a future, but I like took their future away and made them my hinge people.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love that. And then Ben, you started us out. I'll close
Yeah,
us
started
out.
you off.
Thank you. So let me just do one thing really fast because I'm very embarrassed about it. I have been rapidly editing and making changes to the overlays so folks can get the right information for us. And I'm just going to do that really quick before I get into and tell, just building anticipation, really, because I know you all want to know and are dying to know what type of villain I would be. And the joke's on you, I already am one. And thank you. That is the slow clap that deserves. I appreciate it. Oh, that's don't half-ass like try to tell me otherwise. That just makes it worse. Cool. All right, and voila, Bebica says Harrison happen. It's all updated. Beautiful.
Whoa.
I know, it's fast.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Please, no, I owe you guys. So for me, hi, my name's Masood. I'll be the GM. My pronouns are he, him, but I will be playing an assortment of characters that will go by she, her, they, them, and even he, him, or it. 90s villain. If I was to be... I would love to be like an extreme... I don't know how to describe it. Like an extreme Scooby-Doo villain. Like, you know what I mean? Like if like Scooby-Doo gang was like exploring and like looking like, oh, a lot of spooky stuff happening, and then it's like actually scary stuff. Like the ground was to give out, and it was like I was like, yeah, it would almost be like Jigsaw, but like the Scooby gang find themselves in a Jigsaw scenario, because I just find that like yeah,
like a prospector who also runs the only hotel.
exactly. all my hench people are all my hench people are all the people who auditioned for SNL that year but don't make it, and so they have to come and do character work as a.
Thousands of people.
I've got so many people.
One of them?
Oh my god.
I love you, Ben.
Ben auditioned for SNL.
Oh, thanks, Harrison.
But yeah, no,
it went great.
Yeah, that would be me. I and my whole thing would be really just, yeah, I want to cause more mischief than you're expecting. Like it's like you walked in at something you were not prepared for. Yeah. Don't read into that. Don't find something deeper out of that and tell my therapist about it.
So I just want to make sure I have a clear picture of
yeah.
this.
Mm-hmm. Please
so
roast me.
No, not yet. You have like a hotel.
Yes.
Full of people doing their 5 characters in 4 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's like everyone who comes in is so terrified they never return. Like
they every door you open is another like comedian shouting their bits at you, and it's like terrifying, and like each one gets worse.
Wow,
like
is a villain layer. Wow.
The top when you start
sickening.
are the best people. The first people you interact are actually funny, and then it gets worse and worse and worse. And the only way out.
Can I just say they're all funny? To even be auditioning, they're all funny.
Yeah.
That's not true.
Wait a minute. You have to be funny to audition, right?
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
But
well,
you're funny.
I'll take it. It doesn't even have to be. I'm gonna say it doesn't have to be SNL auditioners. I'm gonna say just people who have never done stand up before but want to do it. I want like
no.
That's my vibe. And this is not a discouragement to anyone who wants to do stand up. I highly like do it. Go find an opportunity for it. But right now you suck, and listening to you without any practice is gonna be bad. So yeah.
Oh, and it's like only their family in the audience. So everyone's laughing at the worst jokes.
You open the door. It's like, right, Nana? Right? And it's like, fuck.
You can tell they really were into Louis C.K. and they like have his same delivery.
Yeah.
Oh,
God. See why he did it.
And at this moment, we're going to pivot to a more comfortable
Let's
talk
pivot.
at cyberpunk reality. So we're playing Balikbayan, and for those of y'all don't know, it's a cyberpunk setting where we all play these elementals who've escaped custody or enslavement from the Corp, have made their way back to Earth to bring about the rebirth of magic. It is a diceless game, so everything we're doing requires no dice roll except for a couple things here and there, and I'll throw that at you guys as we go, but that's just like for my narrative experience. But yeah, let's get into it. For the award of being my favorite, can someone tell me what happened last time we played? Okay, this was the wrong reward. You all were quiet.
Wait, so what's the question again?
What happened last time?
Oh,
Okay, so we all escaped and we were on a ship. And then as we got off the ship, we had to figure out how to get past some guards. And so we ended up getting past those guards. We got on a bus. The bus drove through and we were able to see multiple rings of the city. Once we were on the bus, we realized that some people had come on and they were trying to get us to pay an extortion fee, and we were like, no way. And so 2 of our members ate 2 of the people that tried to extort us. I'm pretty sure that Erica's character took a bunch of their money. I, for some reason, don't have money despite being supposedly a rich socialite. Super weird. Anyways, I kindly offered my humble abode to everybody to hang out. So now we're going to go and we're going to see the most garish, horrific building that God has ever wrought.
I think that's basically covers it. Yeah. We spent a little time exploring the ship that you guys arrived in on, getting a little backstory of what was like on Europa, the moon of Saturn that you guys were on an Earth colony for before that the Corp was running before you guys were able to book it out after a spirit of voice called out to you in your dreams, inviting you, encouraging you, imploring you to come back and bring about the rebirth of magic. It's only the 60 y'all could do it. The way that you all also got connected with one another was old man Triton, the old mechanic, the machinist, and he helped you all out getting your way out of Europa and into a spaceship headed to Earth. But in the process, which I love because this is, I'm going to do it, double chef's kiss, the person who was getting beat up by the guards was Triton. And that invited you guys to do something about it to stop the situation. And you guys were really smart. You took care of any evidence by eating the bodies. Astra, because as a Aswang, it is, you crave flesh, so you needed to get a little bit of a satiation. And Joan, you're a shapeshifter, dude. And you were like, I'm going to anaconda this dude. And that happened. No, I do want to hold out that the one thing that I took away and the one thing that Triton will remember is that nobody helped him up. No, like after getting like his teeth knocked out and like and punched by these bullies, you guys killed the bullies and had him pick himself up off the ground, which I love it. Great choices. And so you all now, what's it called, are standing in front of this derelict building, this temporary, well, your home for now while you're on Earth. And this, it doesn't have to be in any order. I just want you all to tell me what it looks like. Let's provide a little bit of a word picture for our audience. What are some features of your stay right now? I remember one of the things we said was that it was in like disarray. It's like kind of gaudy, but like that's all I really recall. What are some other?
Didn't it used to be an orphanage?
Yeah, it used to be an orphanage.
It used to be an orphanage.
She tore it down to build her mansion.
Oh, so the land.
I didn't tear it down. I kept the building. I just took away the children inside.
Mm-hmm. And
as I recall, there's like a network of air ducts that the children used to crawl through that are going to be available to us if that happens. But just there are air ducts
available
that
to us.
can...
Available to us. I'm the smallest one out of all of you since I'm the duende. Okay. All right.
Okay,
so that means I have
we'll
to go
make you
through there.
Yeah.
One of us
Vietnam
can
all over again.
shift, so
yeah, that's true. Y'all have magic abilities.
All
So
I'll say is I won't go in.
house used to be an orphanage. I'm gonna hold on to this so you guys also don't have to worry about it and you can keep track and just play. So the house used to be an orphanage. There are air ducts and like air conditioning vents that run through that folks can climb in. And then, yeah, what else? It's just kind of, how many floors has it got? 7. And everyone has their own room?
Well,
Yes.
I mean, they can.
This is,
But I don't want to sleep alone.
Okay, well, we can get into what everyone has the ability to, no one has to bunk up. Got it. Has to.
Lot of space in there once you get rid of the orphans. Just a lot
It's
of
not.
space.
Yeah.
The orphanage is not like in all those old movies where all the beds were in one really, really long.
Yeah, what if we did that? Yeah, let's
Yeah.
live together.
Ooh, I like that.
It's like
It's
a
good.
camping
Adeline.
trip.
No, wait,
Yes.
Might-
Exactly.
just do it like Willy Wonka. Just put one massive bed and you all sleep in that.
That was weird, right?
That's super weird. How is that?
And-
That's how
and
my
then
grandparents slept.
both sides of your family,
Yeah.
mom's parents and your dad's parents, and that's how they got married.
Is that how your grandparents sleep?
No, I wish. They don't get along, but I wish they were that close.
Yeah, I hope for them to one day be that close.
Awesome. So we, the camera sort of swoops in on you all standing on the other side of this gate, we see the faces of you all as we pass over, gazing on to the building. What was the name of the orphanage, and is that up anymore, or was it like truly? How good of a refurbishment did Luzon do? Or sorry, the influencer who Luzon assimilated with.
No, I only have pieces of her memory, but I'm pretty sure she wiped out everything that she could.
Okay.
Before she got into whatever cult that she's a part of.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think.
And you don't know what cult that is right now?
No, I only have pieces of her memories that come through.
Cool.
A lot of her childhood, very little of the recent ones.
Nice. So, we on this building that you look around, it is a building that is in a state of disarray, of need of repair, but it also, like, this wasn't the original architecture for this neighborhood. Like, you can instantly tell, even though this building is old and cracked and crumbling in certain ways, it is still an addition to what this neighborhood is. And as you guys sort of walk around the fountain that's up front, and you gaze upon it and realize, oh my god, that's a fountain of Luzon. That's like actually her standing in the water. It's missing her left arm and her right foot, but that's what that is. And you pass by and you push open the door, and it creaks, and you see just like these tiled well, actually, how tacky is it? Is it tile? Like, because if you replaced everything, I imagine the orphanage tile work, because all orphanages have tile work that's square, that's removed.
It looks like Versailles if Versailles had worn neon orange.
Wow.
And pink.
Bellagio.
Yeah, the Bellagio.
Yeah.
Bellagio in Vegas.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that her taste was gaudy, but it was very gaudy.
Mm-hmm. And so you go in and you see this place that, like, at one point were these like gold lions at the front, but as you see in here, the age has gotten to them, and gold plated is the right term, actually. And as you see that, it's like, that's kind of everything here. Everything is Luzon as a human being, it seems, was a gilded individual, not really substant underneath, but presented as such. And so this all I'm saying is particularly to you, Shu, like, as Luzon, as you're coming in and you're coming to terms with who Angel was versus who, for lack of a better term, we are now, and grasping with that sort of dissonance. Ambo, as you're going through, you sort of walk in, and instantly you can tell the infrastructure on this building is shit. It's going to need a lot of work and upkeep to, like, be put in place. And
absolutely,
yeah. And is that something? Do you catch yourself thinking like that, like, or is it subconscious?
Yeah. That's every time I walk into a building, I'm kind of like an architect. So
yeah.
I designed most of the city, so
right.
that I knew that this was an orphanage beforehand. A lot of good kids came out of there. Mm-hmm. Now they have nowhere to go. Now they live in the sewers. Thanks, Luzon. But when I walk in there, I close my eyes and I see all of the kids running around, and I know that that although it may be gaudy, it may be filled with gold, the infrastructure sucks. And it needs new support beams. It needs new. It needs a whole entire rehab. It's like you're painting a broken fence is what that is. But I keep it to myself because honestly, Luzon annoys the living hell out of me. So I don't want to bring it up. If I bring it up, I know she's going to talk to me. Mm-hmm. So I just stare at my little device here, and I kind of figure out what's next.
Ambo, I'm gonna ask a question. I feel like I'm gonna presume most people annoy the living crap out of you. Like, it's really not just, it's like everyone other than a very select few.
I just
Right.
care about my Legos and model train sets.
Yeah, that's it.
Seriously, that's it. People annoy the hell out of me.
Hell yeah. And so as you settle in on that idea that people annoy you, but things don't, you start gathering and looking at the building, sort of making your way around, analyzing places that you can sort of put patchwork and design work into it. What do other folks do as they enter this space? You know, what do... what is the Mr. Ferryman, the alien Izzy, or Little get up to while you guys are walking around in this space?
Since we all know that abandoned or forcibly abandoned orphanages are a creepy place to be, I want to do a neutral move and search for signs of the dead and or dying.
Ooh, look at... Thank you. If I had a gold star, you would get it. Using the mechanics of the game. So you want to do a neutral move and search for remains of the dead and the fallen. So, great.
I imagine nobody is like actually. There's no corpses on the ground.
Yeah, but let's talk about it.
Ghosts.
As a group, what do we all feel would be... What would... I would love this to be a conversation, like all of us coming together. Thank you, Ben, for positing it, but I'd love to see, like, Luzon... Where would Angel have hidden corpses, or are these corpses that like people the squatters moved in after Angel left? Like, what do we think these bodies are? Your characters might not know who they were, but we as the audience can flash back as we like see these corpses and get a little vignette of who these individuals were. So give me a little taste. Who were these? It's like that one episode of Lost that everyone hates about Paulo and Anna. It's fine. I'm a big Lost fan. No,
There's so many episodes of Lost.
There's
You gotta specify.
It's the one about two people that no one ever like realized were a part of the island, and then they like. I'm not gonna the ending. It's fine. No one actually. I'll spoil it. They get buried alive. It's Lost came out over 14 years ago. Don't get mad at me. But the end is they get buried alive. But yeah.
So just so we're clear, Angel went through a lot before she really found the spirit or God or whatever she got into. So we should be careful, because I'm not sure what she did with this place. But yeah, I guess everyone's welcome. If anybody wants like a drink or anything, I'm sure there's someone I could feed to you, Alien or Little, if you're still hungry. So yeah, make yourself at home in the creepy orphanarium.
Mr. Ferryman opens a closet to peek in, and a body falls out, a corpse. Shortly after that introduction.
I'm just gonna say what we're all feeling is that there's no little gods around here anywhere. It's like they've all abandoned this place because there's just so much suffering and sadness. It's hard to be here.
Okay. Now that we found a dead body that fell out of the closet, can I do a neutral move?
Yeah.
And search for signs of a predator?
Oh, absolutely. So so let's expand that a little bit. Do you want to see what killed this person? Is that like the goal? Like, or are you trying to just see if there was a predator in the area?
My initial thought was like just to make sure we're safe.
Yeah.
But I guess like Alien would want to be like, oh, there's another tough guy around here. Let's see who they think they are.
So you and Ben's character, Saint Elmo, I'm going to say you guys pull up and you are looking at this corpse. And I'm going to provide a little bit of detail, and then I want you guys to fill in with the rest. So you see it's a corpse because of the bones that are present. It's more of a skeletal remains, but you see the jacket that's over it. It seems to be some sort of like a workman's jumpsuit with a there was like a patch on the left breast of it that seems to have been removed. The bigger thing that you notice, though, is while the skin has decayed away to reveal bone, it's also decayed away to reveal the metal plating and cybernetics that have now rusted running along the side of this man's face, or individual's face. Yeah.
I turn to Alien. I put a hand on her shoulder. I say, I don't think he's going to make it.
This dead body.
The last 10 seconds of this game have been insane. The ghost guy walked into this house as Luzon is like, this is my place. It's not, I don't know everything about it. Went beelined for a closet door, opened it, a corpse fell out, and then the alien started trying to sniff around.
Yeah, what's going on?
What's happening? It's Balikbayan for y'all, folks.
That's Balikbayan, folks.
Awesome. So
I'm sorry. What did you actually ask me to do? Because I just wanted to make that.
No. So I told you guys. I appreciate the joke. It's a good bit. What I want.
The demerit, Ben.
Tell me what you find on this body. I told you there's they're wearing clearly a jumpsuit, like some sort of employee. You don't know what division of the Corp they're in because their main logo has been removed from their jumpsuit, but there might be something else that you guys might see or find there. Particularly like to Usser's neutral move, because both your neutral moves, I'm kind of combining them together in this moment. What if you can discern what caused end of life here?
Yeah. End of life was caused by trauma to the chest. Someone attacked their chest and caused them to die.
And
yeah,
so,
ribs all broken.
Yes.
And
you guys get down and you sort of notice as you are looking at this corpse that as you move it, there's like a little bit of it makes a rattling in the chest as it moves. So you pull down the zipper of the workman's of the jumpsuit, and you see those bones broken and cracked, and like the metal that like clearly was like a splint for some of them has been shattered. It appears to be raw, blunt force, like a big hit right to the sternum.
Again, I just want to point out that I am like 5 feet tall, and this would be very hard for me to do unless I jumped off somewhere also very tall. So I don't think this was my fault, but you know what? 50-50 at this point.
Closet, cool.
As somebody who's 4'11", I agree.
And so we've got you guys sort of look around and you notice this Little and Izzy. What are you all doing in this moment? Are you guys also watching? Or Izzy, you mentioned that you didn't feel any little gods in the space. Is that what you're trying to do? Are you trying to commune with what energies are present?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All of the little gods have abandoned this place.
Mm-hmm.
I can sense that there are more bodies around.
Mm-hmm. Oh, in the house?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
It's maybe I just want to put this body to rest in the way that it wants to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that from ripping off its uniform tag, it's from a certain cult. And those rituals are pretty easy to do, to be honest. Anybody could do them, but I will if you want.
No big deal.
No big deal.
And so what...
It's like incense and stuff. It's lame. It's stupid.
How I want you to think about this. How do you find out what cult this person's in? Like, it just like, well, you do some forensic research, or like,
well, it's the No Man's Corp.
It's the No Man's Corp.
Yeah, when you ripped off the label of your uniform, you're a member of the No Man's Corp because you refuse to have a name for yourself because you are a no man.
I like this. It's
badass.
It's basically we are legion. I do not matter, but we are important.
Exactly.
And so the fact that this person is dead is almost irrelevant. What begs...
Right, and the fact that that person is dead tells me that there are more dead.
Exactly. And so as you look, you find other, like, peering through some of the other closets, peering through other spaces, you find some more of these no man's bodies just sort of piled and littered. And it's hard to grasp, but it seems like this is who took over when Angel had to bounce. Like, and Shu, we talked about this a little bit, right? Like, Angel appeared wealthy, but was in fact very much in debt, right? Like, it was very much like trying, or was it just like not have money? I don't want to.
No. She actually ended up giving all of her money away to the cult. Funny story, you guys. I took a quick look, and she gave everything to this cult.
Mm-hmm.
No man.
Everything got.
No. Oh, so this might have been a cult headquarter. So from orphan to cult, it's the natural way of things. Yes.
The circle of
I'm going to
life.
check the foundation because I'm really curious. So maybe there's more dead bodies there. Well, I'll find out. Just don't bother me.
1 second. We lost. I just want to pause out. We lost Joan, and that messed up her orbit. Is she still with us?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. Do you have your screen?
Can you turn your? Is it possible to turn your camera on, or just turn off by itself?
I'm gonna quit Zoom and then come back in again.
Okay, yeah, we can wait for you while you do that. And thank you to our audience for being patient with this interesting overlay setup. But,
yeah, that's true. The cult is messing with this. Maybe it's the No Man's Corp.
It's the No Man's.
Why would they do this?
Ooh, spoopy.
Maybe there's some sort of ghost.
Okay, stop.
In the machine.
Stop. It's not.
Can you do the eye thing again? I kind of missed that from last time.
Wait, this one. You like this one? It's gonna be fun when we're all sleeping in one bed, Willy Wonka style. You roll over and then I don't have a
island.
That was a great detail.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Oh please, I think it should be. Admitted Joan back. Joining. Okay. While they're joining, and so you all are looking around, and Joan, I would love to hear from, because you can hear me, right, Joan?
I could hear you.
Awesome.
I can't see you.
It's okay. We'll make it work. Tell me a little bit. What do you get up to while you were there? While you're inside this house.
So I know that there's a ton of dead bodies buried.
There
you are, Joan.
Hey,
Yay!
I'm gonna do some quick editing and keep talking. We're all listening, and I'm gonna just make your faces match in just a moment.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try doing a move. I'm gonna open a channel to the spirit realm and try to who these people are with the help of like spirits.
I love that. And can you just for me provide a little bit of information? Is this a weak move? Is this a neutral move? Is this a strong move? Where does this sit?
It doesn't really say what kind of move it is. It just says like this is one of the moves I could do. I could either be shape-shifting or speaking to the spirits.
Speaking to the spirits. Okay. I'm going to say this. The thing about Balikbayan, as we were talking about, magic is a commodity. It is scarce. And in order to do magic, it takes a little bit of energy. I think shape-shifting into the anaconda was like definitely something that like you were primed for. It was something that like it might be something that you like do commonly. What does it look like for you to exist in this do this other side of your magic? Because I feel like the shape-shifting is really like physical, while this part is really like spiritual. Like you're actually like almost becoming in tune with the spirit world as you're trying to understand these spirit stories. then we discussed how you anamorphed into an anaconda last session. What does it look like? Yeah, it was fucking dope. What does it look like as you center yourself and find out their stories? And then we can actually, as a group, I'd love to talk. Like, let's collectively decide what these ghosts say to Little, because I'd love to find a little bit more about this No Man's Corp. So yes, Little, tell us about your process.
Yes. So I would say spirituality with the new.
Mm-hmm.
So I would plug myself in and start, getting possessed by these spirits, and they start speaking through me, like all the different ghosts and demons, and you guys, communicate with them through my body.
I love
They're
this.
saying all this stuff.
Yeah. So you plug yourself into the energies of this place and make yourself a conduit for these spirits that are still present. And as you reach out and you try to grab a hold or invite them to come in, it's a trickle at first, because these corpses that you've seen, they've been here for a while. These aren't fresh bodies. So to find the remains, it takes a little bit of time. And what comes through are not raging, shouting responses, but whispers, because there's just a little bit left. What do these whispers talk about? And this I'm going to open up to the group.
I think they're mad that their corpses were never laid to rest properly, stashed in a bunch of closets.
I like that.
Shu's house.
Uh-huh.
Obviously not in so many words.
Yeah.
They're also upset that their deaths were meaningless, that they had stood up against the Corp for something, and it made no difference.
But they're a little bit happy that if they had to die, they died together.
Were they all orphans before this? Before they died?
Yes.
Like, did they grow up from orphans? But
I think
were they all kids at the house at one point?
Oh, that's why they're here. That's why there
what
was
I was
a
wondering. Yeah,
I like that. They all this used to be their home. So when they were building their collection, when they were building their collective to stand up against the Corp, I like this. I'm gonna tell me if this vibes with y'all. I'm gonna take what y'all said and sort of tie it in. So you hear these whispers of these spirits, of these individuals, names forgotten, names were unnecessary to begin with for them, being a part of the No Man's Corp. But these individuals were different. There's a reason why their bodies are here and not laid to rest properly by the rest of the Corp. This became a splinter group. The No Man's Corp itself, like many of the other cults on Circuit City, do not hate the Corp. I mean, they might rage against it as everyone else does, but they still need it to exist. Everyone needs the Corp to exist, to have purpose. So these specific group of the No Man's cult broke off to do something against them. What inspired them to move? You can make it about magic, or you can make it something political. I'm just going to give you all. But like, what caused this group to then die here, and what killed them? Like, what led them to leave the rest of the group to create their own splinter community, and then what killed them?
I think that because the Corp, like so many things, is about it's centering the self. So much of the commerce of this world is built because of the Corp, and they own so much of the businesses. Mm-hmm. And so within the Corp, like, you have this identity, and they want to push that. Mm-hmm. And No Man is all about rejecting that. It's about austerity. It's about saying we are more powerful collective than we are one. Mm-hmm. My guess is that Angel felt really connected to this, and she wanted to be part of it because she had never been part of anything ever since she was she became an heiress because her parents died really young, so she's always been very alone. So I think part of Angel is actually really happy to see all of these ghosts, or to like talk to them,
to recognize some of the voices.
Yeah, Luzon is very confused.
Yeah,
like she has no idea what's happening, but Angel's like, these are my friends.
Oh, that's
so
Frank, Carl.
Yeah, Amato. Like these are her friends, and these are the people that she thought she was coming back to, because she did this for them.
Right.
And Mr. Ferryman is pissed off about this.
Tell us more, Mr. Ferryman.
These people did not get ferried correctly. They are not in Sulad where they're supposed to be, the underworld. They are still tethered to the living world, and that's not good. It's against God. They should be.
Can I make a weak move and summon their little god to the orphanage to lay them properly to rest?
Actually, could I use a lure, Izzy, and have you summon a god?
Yes.
There you go. Hell yeah. So I like
that
this.
way. Yeah, because that way Angel, who feels like so sad that like this was the family that she was like fighting for, can get a little bit of like, can have a little bit of comfort knowing that they will be like carried over to the next life.
I like this a lot.
Okay.
And the great thing about this game, we've kind of talked about it a little bit, chat, as we've been playing it, about weak moves, strong moves, neutral moves, because the game does not employ dice. The way that we decide things are the type of action you're taking. A strong move has a price. It allows you to use big magic kind of without consequence if you use a token. A strong move can only be utilized when you use a token. A neutral move is a neutral move that most people can do at any time, and then a weak move is something that endangers the group, moves them closer towards being reaching their reckoning instead of rebirth. If you guys missed our session 1, those are the two metrics that we're sort of comparing our session based off of. And if you're wondering how do you earn tokens in order to do strong moves, Shu just did a great example with Erica's character, Izzy. Every character in their playbook has a lure, and because this game rewards narrative group discovery, if you remember that and invoke that, then Angel gets a token. And here's the nice thing, Erica, you can do that move without the cost of it being a weak move. So you in that, because that one specifically ties up with your lore so spot on. I'm not gonna have it. I'm gonna say, you do not alert the presence of the Corp. They're not able to sense your magic. In its unauthorized, there's no timesheet clocking that this spike of energy occurred, as opposed to every other time any energy is released, it's recorded. So this is truly hidden. And I think part of this happens, and I'd love for you to feel free to role play this out, but where do y'all go? What does the process look like? Does Luzon implore Izzy and Mr. Ferryman to hold this service? And what does it look like as you guys do it?
Well, I think I call upon the little god of this cult of no man, which is just looks like a 4'2" kind of bulky foreman who comes in and blows a whistle and gets everyone roused. And then everybody kind of lines up and takes out their punch cards like they're clocking out.
And so we see this begin to take place. You guys have moved all of the remains of these individuals to the basement of this former orphanage, current derelict mansion. And Izzy, as you get ready to start invoking this ritual of inviting the spirit in, you all feel a subtle shift in the air, as if a gust entered this basement, though there are no windows and the only way in is the door that you all walk down the staircase that you all walk down in. But as you all feel it come about you and you turn your head, suddenly there is a 4'2" spirit, as you were saying, in this foreman's outfit, a hard hat with a light, and we would recognize him as like a miner today, but to you all, this is a relic of some ancient past. He's got like a pickaxe on its back that's like actually just iron. There's no like cybernetic enhancements. It's just what it is. And the reason why his size is that majority of him is so stocky and so set and situated. And so he arrives, tilts his cap, looks at you all, and stops and gazes at Mr. Ferryman. He seems to be waiting on you to begin this part of the situation, this part of the ritual.
Yeah, I think I want to talk to him like we're colleagues.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, sir. How are things?
Oh, it's been busy at the plant, doing a lot of work these past days, getting things done. But I heard you all call, and I saw some of my. Oh, these boys need to be laid to rest, eh?
Ha! I hear that. Yeah, let's make sure everyone's laid to rest properly. These people have been here for a long time.
Oh, for
sure.
A lot of pain. This is. Well, it's just 1 second, and he takes a whistle, as Erica mentioned, out of his pocket, also ethereal in his nature, and blows it. And suddenly you feel that wind again, and you look, and it seems almost trace like drafts that circle around these corpses. And then suddenly what looks to be an outline of bodies, these 4 corpses that are laid down here, these outline of them being wrapped in wind, slowly lift, and as they rise and stand perpendicular to their material form, the wind coalesces and becomes tighter and more solid, but also more see-through. And suddenly you see 4 individuals who bear the same facial structure as these bodies, but obviously look drastically different. And then he looks at Mr. Ferryman. What do you do?
I say to him, let's make this a smooth transition. I want them, you tell me what I need to do or what we need to do with the bodies, and I'll cast a spell to help them find their way to Sulad, like a guy at the airport going like this with those things.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about when he goes like that with those things?
Yeah, I remember. You seem too young to know anything about airplanes, but I recall those. Yeah. So here's the big thing. You did the big part in bringing me over here. I can take care of the spirits. The major thing that needs to change is their physical remains here. You need to find a way to compost them. Basically, find a way to return their remains to be used for their material goods. So you want to strip any of the iron, any of the metals that are inside them bones there. And then the bones themselves, you can just bury if you want to bury the bones, and then take the spinal cord, ground that into make that into ash, and you sprinkle the ash over their grave after you bury the bones. So remove the metal, take out the spinal cord, burn the spinal cord, make it ash, bury all the bones, sprinkle the spinal cord ash over it. They'll be good. Oh, and then with the metal, just recycle it at your nearby plant.
Thanks.
And then it says, all right, boys, time to move out. And another gust of wind comes, and they're gone. The corpses remain.
Well, I'll get the iron.
I think we can probably just bury them out front. I mean, this place is kind of deserted. We could do it by the fountain.
Do it.
Yeah.
Bury them by the fountain.
Yeah.
And so you
Fine.
all do your process, and we don't have to focus in on this. We'll just cut to afterwards as you guys get situated. This ended up taking a little bit of your day. It's been a wild day. You guys woke up in a spaceship in travel after being at space for probably around like a week of straight just flying. Have arrived, touched down, felt real gravity again for the first time in a while. And then engaged in 2 murders and now a burial and a appraisal of a falling apart building. It's been a lot. So I imagine you all, as you all are getting situated, make your way to your respective rooms. How do you all end today? How do you all fall asleep? I'd love to go one by one, sort of making my way around, giving each of you a little bit of time to process what happened. Does anyone want to go first? Otherwise, we can do it this fun way, and I'm going to use Roll20, and I'm going to roll a D7. A D7 does not exist, but Roll20 will let me do that. Thus the glory of Roll20. Or actually, I guess it's a D. Oh, it's a D6. I'm not playing.
D6, right?
Lame.
D6s definitely exist, though.
Wait, D6s do exist. I have some right here. I'll roll a D6.
It's the original D.
Oh, D's are 6s.
All D's are 6s.
D7.
Okay, so
Average D is 6.
I'm going to number this. Let's see. Harrison is 1. Joan is 2. Shu is 3. Usra is 4. Erica is 5. Ben is 6. And then we're just gonna go. We got a 5. So Erica, you start us off, and then we're gonna go counterclockwise. So we'll go to Ben, Usra, Shu, Harrison, and then Joan. So just know your order, and let's cut to Izzy. What does Izzy get up to as she finds a room?
You guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Izzy is useless. She's buried many a corpse. So she's unfazed. She just wants to get to bed. So she puts on her favorite sitcom from the old days. It's called Bitcoin Alert. And it's just like what it sounds like. It's just this group of friends who set up these Bitcoin alerts and hijinks ensue. And it's just something she's used to watching. She's fallen asleep to it many a time.
Mm-hmm.
It's just something she's really used to.
Mm-hmm. It's your comfort, which is interesting.
It's my comfort.
How did you come about this? It's a old. Is it from our time? Because that's like 200 years in the past for this world, or is it like from some place in between? Like, where did this television come from, and why is it comforting for Izzy?
It's from the near past. It's like from when Izzy was growing up, and it was written by her favorite writer. Just got like all the quips and jokes that you would expect from a sitcom about Bitcoin. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, absolutely.
Classic Bitcoin trope. Yep.
I've been mining Bitcoin all day, and now my video cards are like a heating card. Am I right?
You've seen it then.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
That's good stuff. That was tight.
Thank you. I know my market, baby.
SNL material for sure.
Don't make fun of me in front of Ben. Please don't do that.
I will say I hate it when people quote that show directly instead of putting their own spin on it. But yeah, it's just like a comfort food of shows.
Hell yeah, I really like that. And as you're watching and you're thinking about the show, I want you to also think about what you're gonna do tomorrow, because now you haven't really had a full day on Earth, but tomorrow will be your first day back truly in Circuit City. And I'd love for you to think about it. And this is basically how we're going to spend this time before break, just sort of discussing what each person's getting into. So I would love for you to think about out of your bonds, and we'll talk a little bit more about that when we get back. Who do you want to see? And I'm just going to recall you have Reginald the child, and you also have the shepherd Arthur. And I don't want to provide too much info for chat. I want to save that for us to like build in when we get back. But just like think about as you're planning who you're going to go see and what it's going to look like. You could see both, but I think it'd be better, at least for this one, let's pick on one bond each per person and sort of like build that out.
I know who to be.
Nice. Cool. And so I said we were going to go counterclockwise. So up next is Ben.
Great. Mr. Ferryman returns to his room, closed the door quietly behind him, lets out a sigh of relief. They finished the rituals. Ambo had to do a way more dangerous task and go find somewhere to actually recycle metal when we're on the run. we did everything else at home.
Yeah.
But lights are out. He's looking freaky like this. And in the darkness, he has tiny micro projectors in his optic nerves. So bright blue light shoots out of his eyes, and a huge visualization of the globe is there with like little points of light all around it, like Cerebro from the X-Men films. And he seems to somehow, not using his fingers or anything, put 4 more dots in Circuit City to represent the souls that crossed successfully. Looks at all the souls that are still left all over the world, billions and billions, and then clicks off the projectors, does a real old school, dumb guy yawn.
You really don't. You're a robot. Like, there's no need for you to do that, which I love. And then we don't know why humans yawn, and it's very possible robots could yawn too. And then he powers down for the night with his eyes wide open. Hell yeah, baby! As someone who used to sleep with their eyes open, I very much identify with this.
What?
Yeah.
What?
We'll talk about that.
Sleep like this.
It happens to everybody. I do it all the time, so it's not that weird.
Because like
that's not everybody.
Sorry, but I sleep.
Yeah, you can't just say it's not weird.
It is weird.
It's not
the
weird.
fact that I got broken up with over it made it weird. But yeah.
But you're married now.
I'm married now, so guess who won? All right, we're gonna move on from my personal life to talking about your characters. No, it's cool. I threw you under the bus accidentally earlier. That's fair. Usra, move it up next.
Okay, so Alien is just like patrolling, just doing a quick sweep across the building to make sure there's no, no predator around, but also listening to a good podcast
They
to
still
kind
have
of wind
podcasts?
down. It's what we today know as podcasts.
Yeah.
But there's obviously a futuristic name for them. But I was just letting everyone here know what it was by using the term podcast.
I like the idea that the way television, like, we don't have, you still call it, since the 19 whenevers, like the 40, 50s, when TV shows came out, when they made color TV, they're like, oh, come watch your color TV show. It was just like, oh, come watch this TV show. So I do like the idea that once podcasts were a thing, that was the term for it. Like, podcast became the title. So, like, I think I was just asking, like, is that, if, like, of course, so people are still talking about things that they find relevant and finding people to get into an audience about it. What is the podcast you're listening to, and why is it a true crime podcast?
Doesn't have to true crime podcast.
No. I gave you that. Yeah. You can make it any sort of podcast you want.
Yeah, it's a podcast of finding happiness and fulfillment, but also personal responsibility and balancing balancing the two. Alien's a complicated gal, you know. Yeah. I don't have a name for it.
I like it. It's been lost to the ages, and I wish I could share what some of these Zoom chat names are coming up, but I tell you what, they're not appropriate. And so
they're SNL appropriate though.
SNL appropriate.
Yeah.
Usher, I want you to. So you're listening to this podcast.
Yes.
And you've made your patrol. You are also. You're the only soldier in this group. Like, you're the only one who's actually trained for combat. So I think it makes 100% sense that you are checking your perimeter, because you're looking for entry points. You're looking for where the Corp could get in. They could surprise you at night. They could come in from the basement. Was it really sealed? Like, you realize Aswang are terrified. Like, people are terrified of Aswang because they're myth. They're spoken about in whispers. If you are to meet one, you will not tell about it because you will be dead. And so I think with that, you also know, and forgive me if this is too much, but you are one Aswang. And there are teams of 10, teams of 20 that are dispatched to solve problems like you all. So I think there's this idea of like really making sure things are situated and secure. And I think in the same way that because you are a complicated person, like, you got to turn off. It's hard to turn off when you're like turned on like that. So that's where like the podcast comes in, where it like allows you to then sort of, once you know things are situated, things are safe, you can at least more to move down, no longer being at an 9 out of 10 on alertness, but at the usual 5 you sit at, and what you can get to sleep at. Is that cool?
Perfect.
Hell yeah. Awesome. Shu, tell us a little bit about Luzon's and Angel's experience being back in their home as they're getting read. Also, everyone, once again, be sure to be thinking about which bond you want to talk about after the break. But yeah. So yes, Shu, hit me with that.
I think Angel and Luzon are having a lot of feelings right now, because Luzon is an elemental. She is the oldest out of all of them, and
right.
she is earth, she is water, she's fire. She doesn't have any attachments to humans. If anything, she has a lot of bad memories of humans coming and destroying everything as they are wont to do. But for Angel, this is her home. You know, this is somewhere she knows very well. These were her friends. So she's really sad and she's full of emotions. And Luzon is having to deal with that. So they wait for everyone to go to sleep. And then they go back outside to where they just buried all of these Angel's friends. And Luzon cups a bit of water from the fountain and pours it over the graves, because that's what she used to do for the rest of the elementals. And they have a very strange moment. And Luzon has to really start thinking about, do I want to kill everybody like I originally intended? Because this is causing her some thoughts. Yeah. And she is, you know, someone who likes to wreak havoc. So it's a little uncomfortable for her.
And I think it's worth noting, like, it's easier to wreak havoc, to destroy a place or an individuals and like people you've never met. You're now on Earth. You're now with humanity again, and the last time you were free was so long ago, and when you weren't, it's because humanity was using you. You were a freaking battery just hooked up, being drained and constantly put in this like semi-conscious state in order to further the corpse's capitalistic and or just like wants. So I do like this notion of grasping what is retribution for you. Is it a slaughter, or is it acceptance and something more? And truly, I'm not going to say one is better than the other, because also I kind of want to see what it would look like for you to go on a slaughter spree in this game. But yeah,
that's a lure. Just a shout out. If anybody wants to know,
that's a weak move I hope you take. But yeah.
Yeah, on
Anything else?
her way back,
Mhm.
she knocks on Mr. Ferryman's door,
Mhm.
and she's like, "Hey, are you awake?" Like too loudly, knowing that she's gonna wake him up.
Thank you, Erica.
Hey, you
Who-
awake?
Who is it?
I own this building.
Then I guess you can come in.
Do you know where they go? All the
Sure.
dead souls?
Sure, of course. It used to be my job.
Is it a good place or a bad place?
Is the world a good place or a bad place? Hard to say. Same as the afterlife. Sulat is a tricky place.
I think it would bring a very strange humanistic part of me some comfort to know that they were in the good place. So if you could just say that, that would be awesome.
Yes, they are in the good place and they are not paying for their crimes in a sulfur pit. That's not happening. They're in the opposite of that. All the good stuff is happening to them and them alone.
Okay, great. So they're in a place of Lumpia and everyone's happy, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Great place.
Truly the
You
best
know-
place. I would love to live there.
That's why that would be delicious.
The Lumpia for all. I'm so hungry now. I've never told anyone this. I'm going to activate a lure. But, after my parents died, or Angel's parents died, it's hard to say the difference really. Died at such a young age. She was alone for a very long time. And so it was no man that came and helped her, or me. Again, everything's really fuzzy, especially the later the memories, So I think it would bring Angel a really good comfort for that. Thank you.
I'm happy to help. And if I encounter any lost spirits who knew Angel, maybe I could let them come into my body and speak to you. sometime.
No, there's like so many bad things that she probably did. We don't need to do it for all, but definitely just these 4. And maybe a 1 or 2 more.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, it was nice speaking with you. Good night.
Okay. All right, I'll be here if you need me. Just I'm technically older than you. Okay.
This is how I know Mr. Ferryman, is aware of how he looks. Because he didn't need to say it like that. There was no need for him to respond in that manner. But I love it. And I also think I really like this moment of seeing Angel implicitly affecting Luzon. Like Angel's history, Angel's memories, the fact that she wanted her friends to be okay is now becoming I don't want to say something confusing for Luzon because I don't want to describe it for you, but I do imagine it's something new that you're having to process and sort of just sort of analyze.
Yeah.
So,
and I get a token, right?
yes,
With
you
the
get
lure?
a token. Yeah, you've got 2 of them right now. Please don't make me regret it. And the fact that asking someone to play this game after they followed the rules. Shu comes in session 4. So I have 10 tokens. I'm going to use them all in this one move.
Don't think I'm above that. I will.
I feel like I know how you play Settlers of Catan in this one instance. I feel like I analyzed it all. So we're gonna Joan, please tell us a little bit.
Oh, I was before Joan,
You
but
are before. Sorry, I got messed up in my route. So we'll go Harrison and then Joan to
Harrison with double R. Yeah.
Harrison.
Yeah.
I corrected it. It's on the thing. You can't even be mad at me.
No, I just roll 3. They'll probably another edit.
Go tweet at Harrison_happen and then add me and say, look at this dumb guy. Also, he does great character voices and
He's fantastic character voices.
Terrible person, great character actor.
Yeah.
Tell us, what does Ambo get up to after a day? Yeah, first off, what do you do? It sounds like from Ben's story, you are responsible for recycling these metals. So
Yes.
how do you do that? What does that look like before you actually make it back?
I burn it. I burn it actually outside. The pollution, it's terrible. So, what's other me burning some metal to turn into more metal? What I actually do is I take the metal that I got from those dead bodies that we found, and I melt it down. And I turn it into my hammer. So my hammer just gets a little bit bigger from how many of those dead bodies.
Yeah.
I stay outside because as a duende, we don't sleep in houses. We sleep in small hills. So I built a tiny little hill for myself, and I'm burning the metal down. And out of the corner of my eye, I see the tikbalang, Joan. I see the tikbalang, very quiet. It's staring at me, and I'm comforted because honestly, I like them more than everybody else. A, because they're quiet and they don't bother me, and B, because it was pretty badass how they ate that whole person as an anaconda. So yeah, it's my favorite. It's my favorite being right now. But when I see them out of the corner of my eye, I also see out of the other corner of my eye up a giant billboard that says Circuit City, here building your future. Now on it is my bastard. Am I allowed to say that?
You can. If you want to reveal what this is, you can definitely do it. I highly recommend it. Yeah.
My brother, Marcos Estrada, CEO of the Building Cult. CEO of the Building Cult, and I immediately get upset and I burn myself. I'm like, and that hurts, and I'm just really upset. And then I turn and I look at the tikbalang and I ask, sorry, it's nothing. And I kind of reveal, like, I kind of get vulnerable with them, and I do ask them for some advice. I'm not good.
Well,
which is a lure.
Let's save your lore, because I want to arrive at this scene from two perspectives. So you're sitting there, you see the tikbalang as you're doing your process, and then you see your brother's face, and we like flash back to a moment of the two of you engaging. I would love to do. I think this. I don't want to rush it, so let's talk about this. I think you might do this tomorrow, but I wanted to talk about the last time you guys saw each other. So maybe if you're on your way to go see him tomorrow, that we can flash back to that memory. But at this moment, you get caught up in that, and your eyes sort of go distant, and you don't realize that the system that you're using to hold the metal, some of the molten liquid is now running down your hammer, and it catches your thumb. You sort of shake it off, you clean off what you do, and you see the tikbalang, and you realize they caught you in a vulnerable moment, and you want to follow that and open up in a space where you feel comforted. But I want to ask Joan, why is Little outside? What drew the tikbalang out to this ceremony that was taking place?
Yeah, so I just got really sick of being in this haunted house because I just feel so drained from being the conduit, talking with ghosts out of my mouth. So I just really needed to get some nature, a nature break outside. So
I also love that you can do that now. You can recharge by going outdoors and getting connected with the natural. And yeah, there's not much. There's so much smog. There's so much pollution. There's not really a lot of that green still left in the earth, but it's there. There's something that is present that revitalizes you. Because, like you said, you've had a long day. You've done the most magic than anyone. You've done the most mysticism today with shapeshifting and being a conduit for these voices. I imagine that's draining. And so as you walk outside to find a moment of clarity, you come across Ambo doing his part of the ritual, one that you knew was very important to the folks that literally spoke through you. So then as you're watching him recycle these metals into his own hammer, and repurposing it to be a tool, you catch him staring at a billboard for a man you don't recognize. Ambo looks back at you after he catches himself. What do you say?
I say, Ambo, who the hell is that man on that billboard? He looks like an evil piece of shit. And
hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah.
I have a bad feeling about this guy, and I think we're just going to have to burn that billboard.
You're my favorite. I wish it was just you and me here on this mission. You are absolutely right. He looks ridiculous. That guy actually, he claims to have built all of Circuit City.
Really?
Yeah.
So he's the maker of this town or city?
The city. That's what they want you to. I actually designed everything. I don't know if I've said that enough. It's just, no, you know what? A story for another time. Do you want to help? Do you want to burn some metal with me?
Yeah, I want to burn some metal with you.
Yeah, well, I saw a little anthill there. I'm afraid that they might go inside of my ears when I'm sleeping on my little hill, and they think that I'm an arrival anthill. So let's get rid of that thing. Could you transform into like a anteater or something to get the?
I'm gonna put this out here. You've done a lot of magic today. If you transform now, I'm gonna say it's a weak move, and you might invoke like something to occur. I'm just gonna give it real. You might lose a bond. And as you're sort of talking about it, and you have this moment, you see one of your bonds sleeping outside in a tent he pitched his own. Oh, there you are, Little. It's Triton, the man who arrived at this house with you all that nobody invited in, is setting up his little tent outside. He says, oh, howdy there, Triton. I'm so sorry. I guess you all been caught up making your way inside. What seems to be happening?
Who the hell invited you here?
Well, Little did. Little was my first friend.
Yeah.
And I'm only 135. It took me 134 years and 15 days, and I got there.
Cool.
Well,
you're lucky that we didn't give you to those guys, you old man. I'm grabbing his collar.
You're vibrating him. His metal teeth are jostling. He's got metal teeth. But yeah.
Well, Ambo, if Little is your favorite and Triton is Little's best friend, doesn't by some transitive property or something mean that you and Triton should be friends?
He did get me out of prison, so I let him go.
Oh.
And I walk away back to burning metal.
Oh, that's thank you very kindly. I'm just a little creaky and old. Oh, this is beautiful stuff you're working on, by the way. Oh, for the record, if you ever want any advice, I'm a very good sandcastle builder. So I feel like I can offer you some insight into your creation if you ever need any help.
I raise my hammer.
Ah! And he runs back behind Little really fast.
I go back to burning metal, and I turn away and I huff while and look up at the billboard and look down.
Little, you turn around, you see Triton, and he looks to you and says, well, I'm just gonna, I know I got you all here, and I did what I needed to do to get you all settled, but I got my own stuff to take care of on Earth. I got family I should be checking in on. But if you need me, you can find me on the sixth ring, just below, right above the acid pit. You look after yourself, all right?
All right, Triton. See you later. Maybe I'll call you up later.
Oh, I'd love that. That'd be great. And he gets himself situated and kind of like rolls over into his thing. It's like, I'll be gone in the morning. The great thing about being old is you fall asleep early and wake up early. And then immediately passes out. And so as you all spend this evening getting situated and comfortable in your new home, processing what had happened, we are going to cut to break. And so when we come back, we'll talk about what this new day brings, what we all get up to, particularly finding a little bit more about each of your lores and what is grounding you here on Earth. What are the connections that give you purpose and build your relationships in this circuit city. And so we'll be back. We're going to be back by about 8:45, 8:46. So folks, get your water, use the bathroom, do what you need to do. We'll be right back. Okay, see you guys.
Bye.
Hey y'all, we are back. Welcome to Balikbayan returning home with Stir Friday night. Last we left off, everyone had fallen asleep, having getting settled into their new home, performed a ritual earlier in the day to lay these bodies at rest that had been left over in the new home that you guys have situated, the Angel Manor. As you all fall asleep, you you wake up, and the first thing you notice is you all are in a room. And you gather around and you look and you see the other 6 of you gathered around you. The room itself is light blue in its floor design. It's got a almost consistency of like, it looks like a translucent slime texture, but when you stand on it, it's solid. But as you look at it underneath you, it's moving and transitioning. And as you look inside of it, you see lights of different colors and types and styles glimmering and glistening. And in the center, you see the room, as you guys are standing in a circle, a little sort of outpost, like a little central figure that's got, how do I describe it? It almost looks like a golf tee, except if the top was bigger out and the bottom, like an hourglass almost. And it's a circular, it's got a flat space, and above it is a light that's shimmering, and as it begins to speak to you, it pulses in line with its vibrations. And as it says, it begins, "You've done well. You've made it back. You arrived right when we needed you most. We can already feel your presence, the impact you had, the magic you've caused. It's giving us strength again. But it's not enough. We'll need you all to sacrifice so much more in order to bring back what we need to have happen." And suddenly the room flashes white, and you guys are in a cave. and standing in a circle still at the back of the cave behind Alien and Luzone, you see a obelisk. It's the only way to describe it, as it erupts out of the ground, made of an assortment of minerals and deposits gathering together, bringing it forward. But what is clearest about this obelisk is the veins that are wrapping up and around it. And you see the veins contain the same blue, like, I don't want to say slime, but like translucent, yeah, like that same sort of liquid that of lights and of essence. And the voice speaks again and says, find the obelisks, find the altars, and activate them. Initiate the re-emergence of our flow. Those with the desire to own, to commodify, to control this flow have turned off the faucet. Flash, you guys transport to another facility deep within a vegetative, you're clearly outside now. It seems to be in the heart of the jungle. There are vines and trees and gnarled roots wrapping in and around. They are both plant and not, as you see vine intertwined with wire as it wraps in through the ground and up across. The trees themselves have motherboard plating and microchips constructed into the actual bark of these trees as they build out, and the leaves themselves look like leaves as much as they also look like multiple sticks of ram just clogged up into this machine trees. And at the center you see another one of these obelisks. Above it you see just the tiniest hole through this clearing that pokes out, but the rest is covered, and you hear the voice go again. Turn them on and bring back the flow. The energy needed can only be begot by you all. It won't be easy, but we wouldn't have asked you if it was. And it flashes, and suddenly you see yourselves in another room, but this one, the floors and tiles made, the floors and walls and ceiling all same color, this hard, cold, gray-black metal that is matte as it goes across, except for at the center of this room, another one of these obelisks. This one, however, has what appears to be what we know now is like those diodes, those like if you were to get like go to the hospital, they put like those like suction cup things on you with the wires. That's basically what is up and down this obelisk, connecting to a series of computers, and you see a single individual, their back towards you, hair graying, a coat of nice quality suit, like ending at their waist, and some fine silk, silk pants that they're wearing, and comfortable shoes as well. But the voice says once again, there are those who are ready farther than you, those who are about to make the change, to shut it off completely for everyone else, to kill us, to murder you. And you see the individual begin to rise a little bit, and Ambo, you clock the back of this person's head perfectly the moment they stand up straight. And just about as they're to turn their face, the light flashes again. And in its brilliance, in the blinding whiteness that if you were present, you'd have to close and shut your eyes for, but obviously now there's no way you could. the voice finally speaks one last time and says, "Go. We don't have much, but we offer you this. Find all three and turn them off. Stop the blockage and bring it back." And then you wake up. And you all are in your each individual rooms and positions or hills that you arose in. And as you guys get your bearings, eventually all make your way down to what would have been the kitchen, but now in its state of disarray, the marble island in the center cracked and chipped, the fridge front doors missing, and water slightly leaking out of it. You all are standing together and starting to discuss what your plans are for that day. What does it look like?
I had the craziest dream, you guys.
Oh my god, me too!
Wait, I had a dream.
It's crazy because I usually don't have dreams.
Hmm.
I don't think. What?
You guys were all in my dream.
You were in my dream too.
You were in my
You were
dream.
in my dream.
Yeah, I don't even sleep, and somehow I dreamed. It was amazing.
Guys, I don't think it was a dream. What do you know, Duende? You haven't said anything.
I don't know what I saw. I hit somebody at the back of the head.
Yes, I remember that. Good move.
I saw that.
I saw that too.
Yeah.
Who put those dreams inside of my head?
Okay, I just to be clear on myself, you did not strike someone in the back of their head.
Oh.
I almost.
But you saw the moment they stood up, you recognized who they were just from the back of their head.
Oh, God.
Maybe pay attention.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I was
attention.
dreaming in Visayan, which is a different dialect than I'm used to. Sorry, it's usually Tagalog.
My bad.
I'm not from Cebu. I usually dream about trains and automobiles, so this is very different for me. What do you guys think it is?
Well, I usually have PTSD like flashbacks and wake up in a cold sweat. So this was new for me to have a dream with all of you, but I did still wake up in a cold sweat. Just want everyone to know. That's where I'm at.
I think we're supposed to find some of those obelisks. You know, the big, tall, phallic things with the vines on them?
Slime.
Yeah.
Slime.
We need to-
They got slimed, yeah.
Yeah, we
And
need to find
some
a
of them
nice,
have vines.
veiny obelisk.
God, as soon
Slime
as
coming
Don't
out
have
of
to tell
it.
me twice.
worried it. I was so worried as soon as I brought it up.
I've
Well, there-
always known that my dreams tell me exactly what I need to do. So I think we do need to find these obelisks.
Listen, I have studied the map of this city a little bit. And one of the places that I think we went to seemed to be a cave that's on the outskirts of town. Maybe that we should head there?
To the cave?
Caves? Yeah, caves are great. Cool.
Aren't we only
Great.
supposed to go there once a year on our annual pilgrimage?
Well, this can be our pilgrimage. We haven't been there yet this year.
Let's go to the cave.
Izzy, what's the name of the cave?
The name of the cave is, of course, the obvious name. That's nothing I'm looking at. It is Marnar.
Lago.
Marnar?
It's Marnar.
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 Thank you.
Marnar. And so,
Marnar. There are monsters inside Marnar. Not many people leave Marnar.
Are y'all going to Marnar? Triton
Oh,
pops his
this
guy
guy.
in the corner.
Damn it, I hate
I
this
was about
guy.
to leave, but I got caught up. No. Do not go to Marnar. That is not the place that you all want to be.
Triton, is it unsafe? Is that why you're saying we shouldn't go to Marnar?
You're not prepared. There's so much. Getting to Marnar is a journey in itself. The amount of monsters and corporate thugs blocking the path. You need to get out of the city and then survive what's out there along your way. It's easily a week's journey. You can't just go.
Hey, Triton, do you want to come with us?
No!
No. He's not coming with us.
Amber
Triton,
would
at
love
least
to
have a
friend.
mimosa.
Oh.
Triton, at least have a mimosa. It's brunch.
No, I'm gonna go see my loved ones that I have not seen in years. I suggest y'all do the same. Say your piece to them if you're still insistent on making your way all the way out there. Just, I love y'all, even though you treat me like crap. Actually, it's the only person I really appreciate is Little. But please, just don't go to Marnar if you're not prepared. Get the right clothing. Protect yourself from the acid rain. You need to have proper protection as you make your way through.
Well, answer me this, Triton. You know any obelisks that aren't in Marnar?
A what now?
You know of any obelisks that aren't in Marnar?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
I know it's a silly sounding sentence. I'm asking about if there's any obelisks that are not in Marnar.
You keep saying
Big veiny obelisks.
No,
Really
Ooh.
slimy.
They got
kinda
slimy.
wet
Slimy.
outside.
They have
just
veins.
Okay, all right.
like this.
All I hear when you say what you're saying is big veiny the something that like outside of you I can't understand. And
Doesn't your mind naturally fill in the blank?
no,
Just
I don't
fill
imagine
that-
you want to see that. And Ambo, you clock something cut across Triton's eyes. The next time one of you say the word obelisk, they literally, his electronic one literally turns off the moment that word is mentioned. And his other eye, his real one, goes cloudy. Yeah, what are you saying?
Wait a minute. Hold on. Get over here, Trident.
Oh, I'm not going anywhere near you.
Grab him. Somebody grab him.
Ah! And
Grab him. What do you know? What do we know? The second that you say obelisks, your eyes just tingled
What?
to something cloudy.
What?
Well, if you're not gonna tell us, I'm gonna find out. I go behind Trident, open the back of his head.
Mhm.
There's a nice little hole. There's a nice.
What?
There's like you see a little word written above it. Reset.
How nice is it?
You pull
Nice.
you pull out a tiny
Like
pin.
obelisk
It's a
neck?
nice hole.
Not many people know about this, but I know the woman who designed these tridents. Really annoying. Nice little hole here. Does anyone want to give me their
Your
phone?
way
No, I
around
immediately
that hole?
turn off. I'm going conscious if you press. And the moment the pen enters, he turns off. And not like this is when Triton models are open for service and sort of what's it called? Examination and maintenance. So as he is now in service mode, Duende, you gently lay him down on the island and literally find the buttons behind his ears that like pop off his faceplate. And so you lift that off and you start digging into the hardware. And as you're you're looking for information, and I want to give it to you, but because it's Balikbayan and other role-playing games, I'd say, "Oh, roll me an investigation or roll me this or that." I want you to ask me, like what sort of neutral move do you want to do in investigation here, or do you want to do a weak move and cause something to occur but give you a token? Like what? Yeah. Take your time, Harrison. Ponder this as much as you want.
Oh my God! Could you say it again?
So here's what's up, bud.
What's up?
You are examining Triton now. You have information to register what's going on. You are the team engineer here.
Yes.
Yeah. So
thank you.
I want to provide information to you about what you discover, but I want you to ask me a question about like what you're looking to find. Like I want you to try to think about the scenario and like give me a question, and I will provide to you what your analysis gathers.
Okay, so my first question is, you spoke of dangers earlier. Corp guards, monsters. Can you give us some intel on that?
So as you're digging through the actual hardware, like you plug in a little like reader into one of the ports that's right at the base, like truly in the center of his nose, that connects to the back of his spine, where the mainframe is, and you start digging through the catalogs, and you look at the recent chat log where he brings up what he had been talking about, and it's typographed immediately to what he was saying, and you clock as you're reading the transcript. Every time you all say the word obelisk, the word pops up, data entry not found. And every, like all the other words, like you can see through this actual analysis, they've got like little click outs where like if you're like, hey, there's going to be monsters along the way, you click on it and you see these like mechanical animal hybrids that are out there, a lion whose claws have been like repurposed to be metal, and you see its face has been given different sort of eyes that allow it to peer through infrared. Like as you're like looking at this model, you see like Triton's internal knowledge about these things flash up, so you're gaining a lot of these things. But what's interesting is everything else, every other noun, every other phrase has this encyclopedia tied to it, this sort of like a data entry that you could like a pop out that you could click through. But where you know the word obelisk should be, it just says data entry not found. So something you are gathering is there's something that has caused, something is either wrong with Triton and he can't process the word, or something is right with you all and you now know what this thing is.
Wow. What version is Trident right now?
Triton is currently, you look at his software, it seems to be up to date. The hardware is old, obviously, because he's a pretty old model, but the actual software itself seems to be the latest.
And we're searching for the obelisk. The obelisk will lead us.
So that's what you all are looking for.
That's what it says, is the obelisk. In order to get into the cave, we have to get the obelisk or find the obelisk.
I'd say you guys gathered that you think that the inside the cave, inside Marnar Cave, is the first obelisk. You have no idea. That's what the gathering is. The other one of the vegetative like rainforest with an obelisk in the center of it. You have no idea where that is. You didn't gather anything like of where that room was, though you seem to know the person who was doing the research on the object itself, the obelisk itself. But
I know who created the obelisks. I mean, I don't. They are in a duende like myself, but it's more of a legend of how Circuit City, like how the beginning was built.
Yeah.
How the structures were, but how life was able to form was because of these obelisks.
They're myth. They're like inspiration for you all to like build a creation that could tap into the raw magic energies of the earth, and not only tap into it, but amplify it. The ability to turn it off, the ability to meter it. You basically found this idea of a magic nozzle that affects the flow.
I'm sorry. affects the flow of magic.
Affects the flow of magic, Usra, and only magic. I realize I'm using a lot. I see the faces on you all, and I'm trying to keep it not blue, so please. Yeah, so you all
so with Triton, can I first does Triton have to come with us? Could I just upload everything that Triton knows onto our devices just so that we can reference
onto your walkies, your phones that
onto our walkies. I want Triton to visit their family. I hate Triton, but but I mean, not hate. Hate's a strong word.
Yeah.
I dislike Triton. I dislike Trident. It gives all short kings a bad rap. So a weak, very knowledgeable person. So I'd like them to visit the family, but this obelisk,
you can you can definitely download the chat log and like his entries and like keep up to date on his stuff. You can't download his total life history, because your phone doesn't have that much space. Your walkie does not have that much space. Like this, he's got like. I don't know what's above terabytes, but like
I don't need to know what Trident's favorite food is,
right.
Trident or the Trident's family members, things that just don't apply to like our party. I think so. Obelisk is very obelisk means a lot to me because obelisk is something that duendes in the past have built, so that
or at least rumored to have, right?
Yeah. No, I believe in duendes. So because I am a duende myself. So yes, it's very mysterious. I think it's duende made, but I could be wrong. But in order to get that, does
you can download?
Can we download it? Yeah. Does it have the signal? Are we able to have the signal to get when we get close to an obelisk?
Yeah.
Our walkie talkies just blip.
I think that might be that's a theory you have. I want to try to build it. Yeah, I definitely, and I want to have you. I don't think you could do it like that. I don't think it could just happen. So like you clock that there is some sort of interference that's causing like this word to have been erased, to have lost, and you want to track where that source of that interference is from, and you can definitely do that. I'm gonna tell you, I don't think you can do it like this. I think like this might be a project that you have to investigate a little bit. Maybe having access to an obelisk yourself to do tests off of would allow you to then be able to like find the other two super fast. But at least right now, like you think you would have to take the pilgrim path all the way to Marnar and go to the heart of it to visit this shrine.
Yeah.
So yeah, you gather all that. You're able to download that information. You put his faceplate back on, disconnect, put the pin back out of the reset position that's at the base of his neck, and he says, "That'll put me unconscious." Oh, I guess I'm okay. Well, I'm gonna get going out of here because I feel like. Okay, yep, my clock, I can see it. My clock is different from when I was, you definitely put me unconscious. Little, I don't like your friends. Don't like this one. I'll see you when I see you.
Which one?
And I'm on my way. And he gets up and immediately just leaves. Yeah.
I can't believe he just said he didn't like us. That's so mean.
I mean, you did basically grab him and hold him down so someone could like put him in a sleeper hold. So
yeah. Also, Izzy, you literally pushed him down again once he got back up last time. So
listen, I forgive people. I don't know if that makes me crazy.
So yeah, you guys have this information. You know a little bit from Triton that there is some danger along the way, and Ambo, I'm sure you're kind of explaining this to the group as you're going through it and looking at those like logs. Like, even if you can't register the obelisk and you can't figure that out here, you still got a lot of really good information. you basically clocked that there are going to be these sort of beasts that block the path along the way. There are some Corp checkpoints, particularly one major one that you have to go through in order to leave the city and be headed in the right direction towards Marnar. And you also know that the acid rain will be an issue as you get further out. You also know that the gate out into the Pilgrim's Path is off of floor 3 ring 3 of the circuit city, and that is also the police and basically firearms manufacturing division.
Should we raid that before we go on our merry way?
You want to raid an entire circle of a city?
No. Just the
main hub, the main security.
So just the most well-defended part of that entire
I just
circle of the
want.
city.
Let's just get weapons before we go. Is basically what I'm trying to say.
We could join forces with a cult, and
Which cult?
whichever one's like most closely aligned with weapons.
The weapons cult.
The weapons
There's
cult.
so many weapons called. You're
Okay.
gonna have to specify. Like, are we talking
Yeah,
rifle?
well,
are we talking?
I'll tell you which one I'm
Let's
talking-
divide and conquer. You know, each of us take one different weapon cult.
Hey,
Get a weapon.
divide
well,
and conquer is not
okay.
the way of cults. It's join and do together.
I'm sorry. We all separately join a separate cult to get separate weapons to come back collectively and have different weapons.
This seems like it's gonna take a long time. What if we just, winged it?
Well, so here's the great thing about Balikbayan. What we can do is we can also narratively cover large sections of time pretty fast. So you can tell me like, yeah, I built out this plan. Like, Usher, I don't mean to like take the wind out of your sails. If you truly want to raid the most dangerous like guard of security, do it. Like, please. I don't want to limit you and your choice. Like, I will yes and you for this. I'm going to let you know it will be hard, but I will.
Yes and.
Yeah. I will yes and you all the way through that choice.
You just want to eat more bodies.
Absolutely. I'm
wanna eat more
starving.
bodies.
We did not eat breakfast, so.
I had a mimosa.
Joel,
You have a problem.
I like that Izzy has now become this brunch socialite.
Well, we all need some sort of weapons to get more weapons. So I'm a duende that doesn't build guns, but I build swords. So here's a sword or knife for each and every one of you.
a knife.
How kind.
Thank you. I would like a sword. Thank
Here
you.
you go.
And
Even
so
the smallest one.
you look at these.
So a knife?
Yes, a knife. And as you look at these objects you gather, you guys also clock that this is. You know this material because you just used it yesterday, taking it out of these bodies. This is literally. He literally recycled their body parts into new
Their body
armaments.
parts.
Yeah, they're like bones and they're like metallic usage into your weapon.
I turned it into my hammer first.
Yes.
And then
I see.
And yours is still. You can also tell. Well, there was so much metal that you were able to not only strengthen and build out your hammer, but you have all these other ones as well. And that's. I just want to say for the reason for you to have 6 swords at the ready, 6 swords and or knife out of your pockets, just at the ready. It's what you literally did last night. And so you guys all gather yourselves with these armaments and how. I want to ask Amba this because I think you're not just a blacksmith, you're a duende.
Yeah.
And so how are these I'd love for you to talk with each other and discuss how are these sort of almost customized to each individual. Does the what's called Dewata blade have a portion where current can run through it of different energy flows? does the Saint Elmo blade have an ethereal nature to it to allow it to slice through surprisingly anything? Does the alien get 2 daggers that are dipped in that have a different like poison sort of element? I'd love for you to, or does something? Yeah.
Yes. So the swords and knives. Yeah, the swords and knives are made special for everybody. I know I said that I don't like anyone except for Little Lynx, the Tikbalang, my favorite. But actually, we're all in this together. So I'm slowly coming around. So I make it customized for each and every one of you based on your skill sets.
Hell yeah! And so yeah, I'd love to like hear from like folks as you like pick them up. What does that mean? How did Ambo make them like perfect for you?
Can I add one thing is that each of the weapons, even though they're customized for us, still has the spirit of the orphan that they're made from.
Ooh. I like
so whatever
that.
like personality quirk they have.
Sentient blades.
Well, I think. Well, here's the tough thing. I'd say they don't have their souls because part of the procedure is ferrying them on. But I do think there is something of them that remain behind, something of their will. And
they're zhuzh.
They're zhuzh. And I think that might even be a hidden element that we don't know yet. Ooh. That might be something that can and I like that prompt. So in a moment, I might ask you all about that, or like as the story progresses in our coming episodes, if you're ever in a moment and you need to use that, what does it do and what is its cost? Because that's the thing about Balikbayan. Everything has a cost, right? So hell yeah. So let's make our way around. I want to go to Ambo last. How does your hammer, I want to talk about you, how your hammer has changed with the addition of it. It went bigger, but also what does it do for your smithing or your ability to create stuff? I kind of talked a little. I kind of did a little bit about this ethereal blade for Mr. Ferryman. Is that something you like, or what would it do for you? You think?
I like that a lot because I think the obvious one would be soul stealing blade or soul preserving blade. It's too obvious. I think if it's a blade that can also harm ghosts that would otherwise be intangible. So it can slice you if you're a person, but if you're dead and you're lingering in the mortal world before going to Sulad, you mess around, you find out.
Hell yeah!
This blade can cut you too.
I love that. Give it that magical weapon property. You know what I mean? Truly, because I think
it's also the sickest, most deadly, sharpest blade in the world that has killed more people than.
Yeah. It was just made last night, but it's killed 2 million people. I promise. Hell yeah! And then does anyone else want to jump in and talk a little bit about what their weapon looks like and how it engages with you?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Mine. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
You can go.
Oh, thank you. Mine just looks like a hilt, and I'm like, what is this? Where's my blade? What happened to the rest of it? And Ambo, really condescendingly turns to me and tells me that it's because I can use any of my elements. So it can be fire, it can be a blade of air, it can be a blade of water, or ice, or any earth. Any of the 4 elements I can channel through. Mm-hmm. And I take the gift, but I'm a little salty about it still.
Awesome. And then Erica, Asura, Joan.
Yeah. I have a broadsword that instills in others the bravery of battle. So when I wield it, everyone around me becomes emboldened, and it sort of feels like they have God on their side in battle.
Hell yeah. Also, I want I'm gonna tell you now, I want you to track these. Please write these down wherever you're putting them down. Please write them down. But yes, I love this notion, and it what normally would cause you to flee something so terrifying, something so scary, sturdies your feet because of the purpose you find yourself in in dealing with whatever you're doing. Hell yeah. Very dope. Joan, Asra, Ambo, Harrison, hit me. What you got?
I like the idea of what? Do you want to go? No? Okay. So I like the idea of 2 daggers. And I don't know why this is the only thing I can think of right now, but every time I pull it out, like when I shing it out, you know, it gives me a compliment. It's like whispers.
Compliment of bliss.
You look great today. Your hair is really nice.
Yeah.
No one can tell that you ate a burrito earlier. Yeah.
The extra pep I need, you know, to feel
Your SNL
good.
audition was great.
Hell yeah. That's perfect. I love it. Joan, Harrison?
Okay. You gave me like a wheat scythe, like one of those things that farmers use.
Ooh.
And it's super, super poisonous at the end. And it's like this weird tipped poisoned scythe.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like using it to like cut people's necks open.
I love that. I'd also say if you allow this, I think when you try and you should try shape-shifting with it like in your hands and see what happens. I think that might be pretty interesting. I think one of the nice things, because of the Duende understanding of the fact that you literally download like these schematics of animals to like shapeshift into them, that there's hardware within the software that allows that change. And this scythe, though long and unwieldy, like as it feels not like the most it wouldn't be your first choice in storming a castle, right? But the versatility that it provides, because it always is with you, no matter which form you're in. It's giving you like that poison property, even if you're not a poisonous animal. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Hell yeah. And then Harrison, I want to know what else happens to your hammer. Obviously, every time you add to it over the years, is this a thing that like happened with Duende? Like, do they? So like you, when you started, it was like
it was a tiny hammer.
It was like a ball peen. It was like minuscule. Yeah. But you've smelted it and reforged it and built it out. It's the same handle, and at the base and the center of the hammer, at the core, it's the original, but it's become so much more. And with this recent addition with metal that was infused with life, that had been like that you guys performed a ceremony for, how does it change your hammer?
How does it change my hammer? So recycling metal from dead bodies, that's something that happens quite a bit. That's how the hammer gets slightly bigger and bigger. And it gets smaller when I make special weapons or special trinkets for other people that I care about. That's and inside of it, it's the tiny little ball peen, and that's kind of like my heart, and that kind of represents who I am as a duende, is like an onion. And so in the center of the onion is the delicious goodness of who I am as a duende. But I cover it up with the more stress and more fighting and more death that I see. It slowly, the hammer gets bigger and bigger, but it gets stronger. I myself get stronger.
Yes.
I call it the golden hammer of Baguio. Is where I'm from. Is a northern province where there's many hills.
Hell yeah.
And
can
so
you put that in Zoom chat so I can put it in Twitch? Because I'd love for folks to be able to, like, if you want to type out the golden hammer of Baguio.
The golden hammer of Baguio. Yeah.
Yes, please. I just want to give that to folks if they want to know how to say that and or spell it. Hell yeah. And so I love it. I love the idea that it's also like, it's like a battery. Like you hold this metal, like you hold this charge, and then you disperse it, even though at a great cost. Also, I love the Shrek reference. I just found out that there's a Shrek musical, and I've been coerced into watching it. And so after I'm done, we're going to talk about this more. But thank you for reminding me that that's on my list of things to get done. Hell yeah. So you all have your weapons set, and you've got these. Basically, you feel like you're comfortable handling the monsters that might come across your way on your way to Marnar. But there's still the acid rain that you guys think about, and there's still the Corp gate post through through Ring 3. How do you deal with these three? How do you deal with these two other problems? And you can pick them out as you want. You guys, if you want to talk about, hey, I remember discussing bonds a little bit before we went to break. If you want to say, hey, I spend like the next couple of days reaching out to this bond to like help me like construct something to like build it or like find the right materials, we can do that. Yeah, I'd like to let's give ourselves like a little bit of time for you all to prep, and we can do a little bit of like a time warp as we discuss what that looks like.
So the problems are acid rain
and the Corp outpost, like the security gatehouse. This one is different than the space one. The spaceport is pretty controlled. There's a little less security enforced around it because they control the entry points on either end. Only authorized people are allowed to travel between these two folks. The security outpost not only prevents anyone from leaving the corporate's hold and or service, it is also meant to protect from the same things you're going to have to deal with out there. And so, yeah, like as you're researching, you gather a little bit of this information and understand that that is a tough space. So yeah, as you're all thinking about this, I'd love to maybe, if you guys want to use one of your bonds to aid you in this, we can talk about what that looks like. Or if you have another solution to either of these challenges, please let me know.
I have a bond that I think might be potentially useful for the second challenge.
The security outpost?
Yes, the security.
Yeah. Yes.
Through sabotage. Mr. Ferryman is well acquainted with a man known as the Valet.
Yes.
They became friends by, I guess, being in a club for people whose name is their job. No, but he knows this guy named the Valet, who's a hotel concierge at a ritzy, upscale hotel for the mega wealthy elites of Circuit City.
Is it? I want to ask you, just because I want to paint a vibe of like what this place looks like, and when you visit it, is it in ring number 1, the most elite, ring number 2, the most elite, wealthy, like the residential area there, or is it in ring number 5, ring number 5, the pleasure ring, for lack of a better term, basically where all the gambling, the consorts, people who
Yes, it's in level 5.
It's in level
but
5.
It is like one of the establishments that's legit.
Yeah, for sure.
The Four Seasons landscaping. Of,
God, that's never. That's really not.
Yeah, no, that's irrelevant. It's just a reference that's funny. Anyways, so at this hotel, this guy, since it's in this sort of seedy district, whenever the rich and famous people from any of the, like ring number 2, for instance, when they want to go to the pleasure houses, have a little gambling, have a little fun, they all come through there, and that valet keeps a mental record of everybody's secrets and what their problems are and leverage. He's a blackmail expert.
I love this. Do you want to role play the scene of what it would look like to see this individual?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think it would be very much like, walking into any other ritzy, fancy hotel.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit overdoing it with the gold and the red carpets and things like that everywhere.
Yeah.
But, this is a couple hundred years in the future. The vases are floating and the plants are way different. They're way more exotic than you would see
Almost
anywhere.
Seem to have a glimmer of electricity even running through them.
Yeah, and sometimes they shimmer and shift, and it's a different plant because it's actually a hologram. But there's still a concierge, and there's still a person who will get you the best restaurant recommendations or pleasure house recommendations, wherever gambling, casino you want to go to. And he's dealing with a number of customers, a little bit like Gustav H. from the film Grand Budapest Hotel. I like that movie. Anyways, and going up to him, it would be clear to him that Mr. Ferryman is there because they've known each other for a long time.
And you see this individual clocks you as you walk in, and you catch him. He's got his hair slicked back. It's all white, but clearly dyed or like platinum in a manner that seems in his color. Yeah. Yeah, if you got another vision of
he's got the manner of a person who's allowed to be a little bit of an asshole because even though he's in a service industry job, he's the expert, you know what I mean? He's allowed to sort of give a little bit of cheek to the rich and famous when they come in.
He's the best of the best. And honestly, if he didn't act like a dick in dealing with them, they wouldn't believe that he was as good as what he was. See, they're dealing with servants, right? Constantly. So to have someone have a little bit of authority as well. And so you clock him. You look down and you see his left arm, the robotic one, is punching in numbers up and down into his like punch pad. That's like as he's chatting with somebody, he sees you, clocks you, gives you a quick wink, and then goes back to his individuals, knowing he'll get to you. And as he's talking with them, he goes, "Now, Donna, trust me. You come out, you do a little shopping on Saturday, you go out, you decide to have a good time with your girlfriends. If I was going to get brunch, I would ask you where to go. But here, you're in my home. Trust me. You're going to want to go to Bentley's. Just tell them the valet sent you." All right. Is that it? Perfect. And please move. Mr. Ferryman.
Mr. Valet.
It never is not unnerving. My guy, I had no idea that you were here on work. What did the Corp send you out here to take care of?
Not pleasure, business, and we need discretion.
Do you know that's my middle name? I'm sorry, everyone else. I hate to. No, I don't hate it. I love it. Get out. My friend is here. We have business to discuss. And you see robots pop out from behind the vases as their holograms construct themselves as they move forward and begin to escort everyone else off. You clearly see that folks are pissed off, but they're gonna come back tomorrow. They know he's the best.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. And he pulls you aside and says, "Now, Fairy, what have you been up to? Tell me, what brings you back to my home?"
Well, I need a favor. I can get you information if you can give me information.
Ooh, already? No drinks? No small chat? We're just gonna jump.
Sorry.
Okay.
Time is of the essence.
Clearly. Well, don't mind me. And if you don't want any, I'll help myself. And he pours himself a beverage of neon purple liquid and drops he picks up this like what appears to be like a little bug, but he crushes it and it looks like electricity shoots out, but also a little bit of juice. Drops it, and when it drops, it's now just a powder into the drink. Swirls it, takes a sip, sets it down. Now, should I ask, what do you need, or should I wait to hear what you're giving me?
Well, first off, I feel bad that you wasted that bioengineered garnish for your cocktail on this meeting, because this isn't going to be fun. I have a tall order for you. The compound, the guards that are going to be there 5 p.m. tomorrow, do you know them? Do you know anything about them we can use as blackmail? Any of them have sick kids? Do any of them have tough marriages? Anyone got parents that are... I need a reason to get as many of them out there at once as possible.
Valet looks at you, takes another sip from his drink. I think you're wrong. That order is so tall, this drink is not stiff enough to handle it. And he...
Come on, please.
No, come on. You come into my home, we operate business my way. This is a big deal. You're not asking for information on one person. You want to know about an outpost, bud? I
think we can handle a couple of them. I just want to know if any of them we can leverage, make a fake phone call, get them out of there.
Well, you could probably handle a couple of them. You say we? You got friends?
The royal we. I don't have any friends. I'm weird. Nobody likes me.
Well, keep it close to your chest. I'll find out eventually. You and your buddies, since you punches on his keypad, pulls up a video footage and like flips the it's basically a hologram sitting up, but you see it in reverse. He flips it around to you. These friends, and you see he got camera footage of the spaceport and seeing all 6 of y'all and Triton stepping off of the spaceship together. Oh, wow! Look at that. That's a tough group. What an odd team the Corp sent out. So varied. You rarely see an... Is that a Dewata with an Aswang? Wow! You all are up to something real here. Okay. Well...
Yeah, we're working for the Corp.
Oh, we're all working for the Corp, buddy. Whether or not you're working for yourself is what's the real question. Look, I don't need to know more details. If things go bad, I'll find out anyways. Don't want to hurt myself by incriminating me later, you know? But I've no doubt the 6 of you all... 7? Is the old man with you, or...
No.
Yeah.
The guy's dead weight. I hate him. If you ever see him, if he ever comes in this hotel, you tell him, go home. Or you give him the worst recommendations. You send him to the TGI Fridays. That sucks. Because there's always one in a town that sucks. Some of them are good.
He thinks, yeah, honestly, have you ever been to TGI Fridays? That town's terrible. Now, in this world, all of the cities are named after either stores or restaurants that once existed. So TGI Fridays is where Tokyo used to be. And so Circuit City is where Manila was. TGI Fridays is where Tokyo was. Like it's a crazy new world. So he turns and looks at you guys, and he says, crops an image of Triton and like prints it out really fast. It's like, I don't even know why. This is actually the reason why I have a printer. And says, "Do not serve" over his face, and like puts it in a pneumatic tube, and it shoots out of the room. And he says, "Look, this group is pretty impressive, and y'all could handle probably whatever your assignment from the Corp is. I mean, why you don't just chat with the proper channels at the outpost? Hey, I don't need to ask how you conduct your business. I will say this. There's probably, punches a few more buttons. Around 70 guards stationed at that post. So I'd have to come up with blackmail for, 68 of them? See, this is the issue with you, Ferryman. There's no finesse in your style. You're trying to get out.
What do you mean I'm subtle?
Yeah, bud, real subtle like a fish. And he goes, I don't know what that means either. And he goes, now what would be crazy is if you arrived when the shift change was happening, and instead of blackmailing 35 guards, half of the folks who would be staying over while the other half get settled and bring on, you could, I don't know, for some reason have the emergency alarm go off and have everyone have to leave the facility and have it be an opportunity for you all to sneak in through there. Perhaps if I provided a little bit of information and pressure to, I don't know, Marquise Dubois, head security advisor for the alarm division, you might have an easy time. This is all hypothetical, of course.
This is all hypothetical.
Oh, 100%.
This is all hypothetical.
Now, pardon me while I prepare myself for what you offer in exchange for this brilliant plan I just gave you, allegedly, and hear what you're giving me.
I can find out what day you're gonna die.
He's really good at it too.
Suddenly, Ambo pops into the room, having not been.
Yeah, I'm really good at it. And my buddy Ambo here
My
said,
buddy Ambo here. I brought muscle. I love it. I love it. No, you see, he puts down the drink and looks at you. It's a lot of power in knowing when I'm going to die. Get a lot done. Make sure things happen, and I'm not a fool to think I could change it.
you can.
But you know what? Oh,
It's not always right.
okay.
If you know it, it's easier to change it. Do you want to know or not?
I do. But I'm going to say it's not enough, though. I want to know. I want to know when Estrada Marcos is going to die.
Who?
Estrada, you don't know the head of the building cult? The
Out of character I do, but not in character.
Oh, I got you. Yeah. The famed Dewada who helped construct and build Circuit City single-handedly, doing it
He did not build it single-handedly.
Ambo, get back in my backpack.
You see, he did it by himself. The reason why we're all here, he's the one who constructed the 7 rings. He's the one who built the irrigation system. He's the only living founder left. And that's a little too much power, don't you think?
You want him gone?
No. I just want to know when. So when that vacuum comes, I'm ready. You give me those 2 dates, and you got your outpost.
Okay, I'm going to have to go consult and do magic and figure this out.
Yeah. I'm going to go back to being rich and drinking very nice liqueurs. I'll see you later.
Nice to see you, pal.
Always, Mr. Ferryman. And so you leave the valet's lovely concierge, and you make your way back to Angel Manor. And I imagine you share this information to the group, and you hear when you mention what now, Ambo. When you hear Mr. Ferryman talk about Estrada Marcos and the fact that you need to know when he's gonna die, what happens?
I want to know because I've had dreams of myself killing Estrada Marcos.
Great.
My name. Sorry, I was hiding in your backpack. You have a lot of batteries here. Do you know that? There's a lot of batteries. I'm gonna
Yes,
take some of
them.
this for myself.
No, I collect. It's a collection. I collect them.
Okay, we're gonna have
Double
to talk
A's,
about that
triple
later.
A's.
Oh, I love batteries. I love batteries. So no, we're gonna talk about this later.
D's.
Yeah. Can you tell me when he's going to die? Can you tell me? This is something I don't think I've told anyone here in this group, but Estrada Marcos is my brother.
Huh?
Wait, so we're all here though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
You're all.
Hold on, let me get out of this backpack real quick. Hold on.
I like you're just like
Can
an
somebody help
angry
me?
baby Yoda that's like climbing out.
Estrada
Thank you.
Marcos is your brother?
Yes, he is my brother. That's why I'm here.
Shing! Then how do we know we can trust you? I guess because you gave us this sword I just drew on.
Wait, what?
Look at the resemblance. I point at the billboard that's pretty much everywhere. And I'm pointing at it. Look, he is my brother. He looks like me, but I am not him. I am an architect, and he is a builder. We're two separate things. Okay.
Sorry, an architect and a builder?
Architect, and he's like an engineer. We're two separate
Is it the same?
separate thoughts. No,
Do you go to
engineers are not
school?
are not architects. Architects are the creative. You know, I don't need to Dewata-splain to you non-builders here, okay? So right now, could we get to the point that my brother is the head of the building cult, okay? He's the head of the building cult, and he's oppressing all of these people. He actually is the person that has turned Luzon's, who built Luzon's house. You know, the one that was
Just
an
gonna
orphanage?
say, I think
Yes.
he's the one who not only made it an orphanage, but did all the work of making it not an orphanage, and also redecorated it so that it's now my house.
Yes, and the foundation is crappy. So, and it's going to fall anytime soon. Yes, I was down there in the basement looking at your foundation. Don't worry.
You all hear the floor like creak ominously for one moment as a plate that was resting perfectly on its side begins to roll ever so gently.
My favorite plate.
Psh, crash.
Okay, that's fine. I'll
Mr.
pick your favorite.
My favorite place.
Mr. Ferryman, you have to tell me when is he going to die?
It's a complex ritual. I can't just do it. I have to consult the Book of the Dead. It's a whole thing. You have to give me time.
I will. Fine. Well, I will give you all the time. I need to know.
But is it okay if he dies? Is that okay
Yes,
with you?
it's okay. Yes, it is okay. He dies. I want to kill him. That's the reason why I'm asking.
It might not be you. It might be somebody else kills him, or he might die of natural causes. Just so you know, you got to be able to take it easy.
Boy, I hope it's not natural causes. That's such an easy way. That's such a normal way out.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go retire to my room. Try and conduct this ritual.
Do you
Figure out the days these fellows die.
So we're in a hotel. You're gonna have to go to the bathroom to do this ritual.
That's my room.
The bathtub is where you sleep?
The entire time. You come
Sleeps
back.
in the bathtub?
I'm standing face against the wall.
He's
in the
a
bathtub.
robot. He doesn't actually sleep. He just goes into rest mode. His eyes are open but no longer illuminated. I'm looking at the time, and I just want to be cognizant of it. I think this might be a point where we stop for this session. You guys know that
Focusing on the plate that broke.
if you looking at
Your
the plate,
favorite plate.
your favorite plate, and contemplating the next move. I'd love for. It seems like Ben, Mr. Ferryman's going to have a ritual to take care of to sort of discover these other names. This might be something that Izzy helps out with, being a saint and sort of adjusting in a more powerful system. I would love for maybe when we come back next week, we also talk about how the rest of y'all, it seems like Ambo, Izzy, and Mr. Ferryman are going to handle sort of like that. I would love to hear how the little alien and Luzon take care of the acid rain. So that way we can almost have like these like two sort of things running parallel. We can resolve them and then get you out on your journey to the obelisk for next week. Hell yeah.
Right.
Perfect. Hey, guys, thank you so much for hanging out, chat. It's been awesome to have you all with us. This has been our session 2. We've been off for 2 weeks, so we really appreciate you all coming back and sticking with us this entire time. We're just going to go around the circle real fast. Tell folks who you are, where they can find you on the internet, what you're up to. And we're going to start going with what is 1 o'clock for me on my overlay. Joan!
Hi, this is Joan. You can follow me on Instagram at Saint Joan. I'm not doing anything. I'm playing Animal Crossing. I'm eating delicious foods in Evanston, Illinois, everyone.
Heck yeah. Harrison, up next.
Hi, everybody. Again, I'm Harrison Happen. You can find me on Instagram at Harrison is Happening and at Twitter at Harrison_Happen. Right now, not currently doing anything, but if you want to come play Apex with me, you can add me on PSN at Monkey Mud.
Hell yeah. When are you getting a PS5? That's the real question.
Oh, when they start selling them. Okay. Don't even get me started about that.
Were you trying to pre-order?
It's a whole thing.
Was it a real?
It's a real thing. It's a real thing. Everybody's using programs to snipe just to get the pre-orders.
This was like
might not get them on Black Friday.
This was the Switch issue that I was having I just got a Switch because it was taking me forever. I'm gonna try in February. I don't know if it's gonna. Well, we'll talk about this off stream. Shu. Up next. Yeah.
I am Shu. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram and pretty much everywhere at Hello There Shu. I am not doing much except for trying to make as much bread and meals as possible. I'm a stressed baker and cooker, and I feel like if not now, when?
Yes, honestly, follow Shu on Instagram. Their stories are fascinating to watch and realize if I too tried, I would not measure up. So it's better to just watch you succeed. Up next, Usra.
Hi, I'm Usra. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Kanye, KHANYE, 2_West. I'm just watching a lot of TV and waiting, That's what I'm up to lately.
What are you waiting for?
The world to change?
Something, yeah. So yeah,
hell yeah.
Nothing exciting going.
Up next, we've got we've actually got Ben. Ben.
Yeah, that's right. We've got Ben.
We got Ben.
My name is Ben Cummings. Thanks for watching, everybody. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Ben Cummings. That's Cumings. Not 2 M's, 1 M. I'm doing a lot right now in contrast to my lame castmates. I've been putting out some really great Instagram stories with commentary about the election,
which ended.
And I'm putting out some pretty good tweets. Definitely really good likes. If you want to see some good tweets, go through my Twitter, see what I've been liking. It's really great stuff. I have nothing to report.
Yeah.
Thank you, and I'll see you next week.
Eric, up next.
Oh, wait, real quick. I want to shout out to Yabba Gabba Ghoul in the chat. That's what's up. Anyway, sorry, Eric.
Yeah, they've been a delight. Erica.
Yeah, I'm Erica. You can find me on Instagram at Bebica_says. I'm doing a lot of roller skating lately, so if you want to start or join a skate gang, hit me up. Bebica_says. That's all.
Heck yeah. Also, just want to shout out for dressing in character, for getting these dead stock Tamagotchi earrings.
Thank you, Laser Kitten on Instagram.
Yo, the rhinestone Triforce on your forehead, it's incredible. I love it. Also, these sunglasses. Anyways, I'm over here looking like a schmuck. Hi, I'm Masood. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Marudboy, MAHRUDBOI. I'm here with these wonderful people on Wednesday nights on twitch.tv/roll20app. I'm also doing stuff tomorrow. I'll be streaming with my good friend Katie May on Indoor Recess Crew. Come check us out. We're playing Life is Strange on Once Upon a Game, examining narratively driven video games and seeing what that's all about. Sundays, I got Rivals of Waterdeep, where I'm doing that. And then Tuesdays, Mythic Odyssey of Theros. Oh, y'all, if you didn't catch last night's episode, it's very good. I kind of cried. And TK did a great job. TK's been in the chat, and they're an excellent DM. If you hadn't seen that episode, please catch up. But yeah, that's what's happening. Thank you all so much for watching. We really appreciate it. We're going to be back next week. Be well, stay healthy, stay safe. Bye-bye.